Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is that time once again. It is that time to hit the track. We are on the strip here tonight in Las Vegas, live out of the Dynasty Stock Car Racing League. I am joined by my main man, Carlos. And Carlos, you had one heck of a night last night at those blackjack tables. How are you doing tonight here at the racetrack?
I'm still trying to figure out what is going on. We're at Vegas here. It's time to roll the dice and hope that you believe in the heart of the cards, because now's the time for Lady Luck to get in your way or get out of your way.
Yes, indeed. And Lady Luck has definitely been on the side of Nick and Delicato here the past 2 weeks. He is going for 3 in a row here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. But what a course we have here tonight as we're taking a look at those point standings right here on the right-hand corner of your screen. He is leading by about 11 points so far here, 3 races in. And Carlos, for folks that are unfamiliar with this Las Vegas setup here tonight, I'm hearing from the drivers that it's going to be quite a difficult race if you're not used to it.
Yeah, we were being told by some of the drivers and some of the race officials about just how tricky this car and track combination is here tonight with the temperatures and the unfamiliarity of this new car. A lot of these drivers are going to be erring more on the cautious side as to how they're going to approach the track here tonight. It's going to be very loosey-goosey down in the bottoms of both of the corners, and it seems that anybody that dips down there is able to get it to work might just come out of here with a very good finish.
Yeah, very good finish indeed. As we look at those point standings there, Carlos, what's some of the names that kind of jump out to you that may be performing at a top level, maybe underperforming here? You know, of course, we have Nick and Delicato as we're taking a look at qualifying taking place right now. And you talk about loosey-goosey, we just had a car get loose. That's it. We still got practice going on right now, Carlos. But some of the names right now, of course, Nick and Delicato has an 11-point lead on Andrew Hess right there in second. But what are some of the other names that are maybe below Andrew Hess and Nick and Delicato that really jump out to you that may break through here tonight?
I gotta say, Roethlisberger, he did mighty fine last week. He jumped up 24 spots. He's currently 5th in points. If he keeps it up, we might be seeing him kind of break through, become one of the top handful of drivers to start to kind of check away from the rest of the field in terms of points.
Definitely, and I would, if we were betting here tonight at Vegas, I would definitely take a flyer out on Min Hang right there in the 3rd position in the point standings right now. Min Hang's really been consistent race in and race out so far. Ran really good at Daytona, ran really good last week as well there, Carlos. You know, just hasn't been able to break through just yet. Runs top 5, top 3 majority of these races, but just can't get up to the front in those last stages of the race to break through. So keep an eye on Min Hang tonight and keep an eye out on that race car throughout the season here to end things. But tonight, folks, we have another qualifier for the Dash for Cash. The top 4 drivers will qualify for that race next week at Auto Club. And Carlos, we saw Nick and Delicato.
Isn't it the top 4 finishers of the Dash for Cash race, which in this case wouldn't it be Daytona?
It would be, they're qualifying for it again here tonight, and then the top 4 finishers here tonight get to race it out next week at Auto Club, from what I understand.
My bad. I thought that was already determined.
No, they reset. So at Daytona, we had the top 4 finishers there, which gave us 4 drivers to race out at Phoenix. And we have another qualifying race here tonight at Vegas, and then we'll have another Dash for Cash at Auto Club.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
We'll reset. We'll go to Darlington. We'll have another shootout there for those top 4. We'll go to Martinsville. Is going to be another Dash for Cash race. Man, what a racetrack to have a Dash for Cash at. Then we'll have a Pocono race, which will be a qualifier for the Indianapolis Road Course. Will be another Dash for Cash race. So those 2 there towards the bottom of the week, week 6 and week 8, they're going to be our next Dash for Cash races after Auto Club. And those are 2 of the most difficult racetracks on the circuit to have a Dash for Cash there, Carlos.
It's interesting for sure. Indy Road Course is going to be a fun one for some drivers and a very disappointing one for some others. But actually, taking a look at our schedule while these drivers are doing qualifying, I'm going to pull up the backup graphics, or the backup ticker, because anyway, we do need to talk about next week. Next week is, as you mentioned, the Dash for Cash race. However, next week iRacing is releasing its Season 4 build. And just in case the build gets delayed or iRacing servers are down or unstable, or there's a really major bug that can't get fixed before the race takes place, it will be postponed to the next free spot. Coincidentally, the next off week is the week following the scheduled race. So we would have had an off week in 2 weeks. Hopefully, we still will have an off week in 2 weeks, but just in case something happens, we'll probably have to postpone it that 1 week, and then therefore the first off week might occur next week.
Yeah, just take a little break there in the action. Going to take a little off week, give those drivers a breather. But what a download that iRacing has coming up for that next season patch. But taking a look at qualifying right now, ladies and gentlemen, we're just a couple drivers through right now. Looks like Nick and Delicato is going to be at the 3rd position. They're qualifying quick, fast, and in a hurry right now. Carlos, as we're taking a look at qualifying, how would you break down this track here at Vegas? You know, is it a course where you can kind of let off in the corners and let that thing ride as we're taking a look at qualifying right now? Or is it almost like a short course where you have to let off a little bit, get back on the gas? What kind of circuit is this track here tonight at Vegas for folks that are unfamiliar with it?
I'm not sure if I can properly answer that question. This is one of the track car combos I haven't yet to experience. If it's anything like I've had to drive this track before, it's more of a momentum track. You know, back off a little bit early, try to get that good, quick exit off of the corner. Maintain tires, maintain momentum. I'm told that the inside is very treacherous, so be careful with that. So I can't really speak on how these guys are approaching it with this new car, but hopefully that'll be something we can figure out before the race is over.
Yeah, definitely, Carlos. As we're taking a look at this qualifying here, it looks like Nick is on top of that grid once again there with a 30.49 right now. Things are shaking up. We got about 17 drivers that have hit the course so far, and as we have a break right now, I'm going to see if we can't bring the man himself into the booth right now, Carlos, for just a quick chat. And hey, Nick, this is Carlos and Will up here in the 3 Wide Broadcaster booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, you are the man of the hour. We're taking a look at you right now on top of that grid in qualifying. You're coming into this race with 2 wins in a row. Take us through what you think is going to get the job here done at Vegas. You going to get that turkey dinner done?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a lot like last week. You know, it's really sketchy. I don't know if you guys have driven this or tried it out, but these cars bottom out and they hook in random spots. So my best guess, it's going to be really crazy here. So I'm happy I'm starting first. I feel bad for my teammate, Matthew Bayuk. It's his first race. He was really fast, and he didn't get a clean qualifying lap. So like I said, happy to be starting from pole. Just got to be clean here. It's going to be sketchy.
Yeah, speaking with Nick and Delicato, the points leader and the guy that has 2 wins in a row. He went back-to-back like Drake here in this series. Nick, just kind of take us through what's led to the success this season. And, man, you got 11-point lead so far heading into this track here tonight, and then another Dash for Cash next week at Auto Club. You know, you start padding up that lead a little bit going down into the chase. It's gonna be the Nick and Delicato show there towards the end.
I actually, as I was saying, I prematurely said it. Westergreen beat me for pole, so good for him. But you know, like I said, still up front row. Yeah, maybe somebody else will beat me here in the next 2 seconds. But yeah, you just got to stay clean. And I luckily missed a couple of wrecks, Daytona and Phoenix, so it's going to be the same here tonight. So, going to be crazy. Just got to hope I'm up front and not put myself back in the pack.
Nick, before we let you go, because you have to grid up now, what's your Twitter handle?
My Twitter should be, I got you 2 seconds. It's theindelicato42.
That's a good one,
yeah,
Carlos.
There you go.
I got you, man. All right, Nick. Well, good luck the rest of the way. Or good luck here tonight. I'm sure we'll speak to you again at some point here tonight, whether you're a stage winner or the race winner here tonight, and we'll see if you can make it 3 in a row.
Yes, sir. Have a great night, guys.
You as well.
All right, let's go over the starting grid tonight. We just spoke to not the pole sitter, the outside pole sitter, Nick and Delicato. David Westergreen, during that interview, edged him out by 0.05 of a second. So he is your pole sitter here tonight. Ming Hong in 3rd, Barrett Pahimus in 4th. Zach Roethlisberger, I mentioned him earlier, qualified 5th, but Johnny Eckert, the league owner, in 6th. John DeBarro qualified tonight's race in 7th. Justin Johnson, the Canadian, in that number 58 Ford, qualified in 8th. Tom Algo is going to be starting tonight's race in 9th, and Seth Rawls will be finishing out the top 10.
Yes, sir. Then we jump to the 11th position of Alex Buffoli, starting in the 11th position. 12th is going to be Andrew Hess right there in that number 54 machine racing out of Team Miata. And then we got Kian Riley right there in the 13th position. We got Logan Savowski in the 14th. Matt Brewer in 15th position. Adam Tepe in 16th position. Vincent Isabella in 17th. Brian Lorenzano in the 18th position. Josh Robinson, 19th. William George is going to start right next to him in the 20th position. Trent Curtis in the 21st position. Nick Vasquez, who we saw running pretty strong here last week. Carlos is going to start in the 22nd position. Vic Bloom is going to roll off 23rd. And Fred Anderson is going to roll off in the 24th position.
Yeah, 25th is going to be DJ Weeks with Riley Marabello in 26th. Matthew Bayuk is going to be hopefully not washed tonight, but if he doesn't perform well, I'm going to be calling him Washed Bayuk for the rest of the week. It looks like some of the drivers moved around. Where was I? 28th is going to be Aaron Cooper. 29th, Brian Edwards. Jordan Tarbo in 30th. 31st, Rich Allen. Avio Watkins in 32nd. And can't quite see, my eyesight is bad. Johnny Parham is going to be starting tonight's race in 33rd position.
Yeah, Carlos, you spoke with about Matthew Bayuk right there. It seems like some of those names on that grid are new names in the field here tonight. Maybe just names we haven't called out, but it does seem like there are some drivers making their debut race here tonight.
Yes, indeed. Now, I did notice you almost mentioned the wrong broadcasting name when you were interviewing and Delicado. I want to give you a warning. We do not. No, I'm kidding. No, give a shout out to 10-4 Broadcasting. Fantastic group. But yeah, also,
right.
Hey, we have stages for tonight. Stage 1 is going to be in lap 25. Stage 2 is going to be at the end of lap 50. So those are the 2 stages here tonight. And shout out to the top 10.
Yes.
They all got 1 bonus point for qualifying in the top 10.
Yes, sir. That's where you want to start here tonight as we are racing those next gens here tonight, Carlos. Those drivers are going to have 3 sets of tires, 1 set on the race car to start this thing out, and a 75% fuel limit on those race cars. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The dice is rolling. The roulette tables are spinning because it is green flag at Vegas here in the Dynasty Start Car Racing League as David Westergreen is going to take them to the start-finish line down into 1.
Clean break already for the pulsator here tonight. No problem going into turns 1 and 2. Already avoiding the inside lane as the 2 inside drivers hit it a little. I said, you see right there, Nick and Delicado, or excuse me, Ming Hong, got a little loosey-goosey there on the inside of turns 1 and 2. Going to relinquish the 2nd spot and maybe even the 3rd spot as well.
Yeah, David Westergreen's going to clear off right now, heading towards the start-finish line right now. It's still slicing and dicing behind him right now as they cross the line now on lap 2, heading down into 1. Nick and Delicado right behind him in that 4. Got Paul Hemus right there as well. Min Heng slipped down into the 4th position. Johnny Eckert's down into the 5th. But right now they're still slicing and dicing around the corner, down the backstretch.
Seeing a little closer, I thought Eckert was going to be hitting the wall there on lap number 2. That is not the case this time, though. But battle for 2nd place between Barrett and Nick and Delicado side by side. It looks like some of these drivers may already just be going to the inside line and not worrying about it. This could be maybe a deal that affects them a little bit longer as the tires wear on and the track grips up.
Yeah, Carlos, that's the one thing that I love about the Dynasty Stock Car Racing League. These guys waste no time of getting to it, getting to that front. Right now, as you see Paul Hemus out there on the outside, you got Ming Heng right there battling out for the 2nd position. They have caught the leader in David Westergreen. Now he has some work behind him.
Oh no! Ming Hong gets loose right on the exit of 4, giving a little bit too much beans, but is able to recover. Just gonna go ride the roller coaster. That is the inside grass. And thankfully, no harm, no foul, except for maybe a little bit of pride as Ming Hong drops from 3rd all the way down towards. Well, right now he's showing his 22nd, but he's gonna be losing some more spots. He's not even merged back on track yet. Now he does, and he's going to start mitigating the damage, but he's going to need a caution if he wants to get back up to the front anytime soon.
Yes, sir. It's just like me on the blackjack tables. You lose a little bit, you lose a lot, and then you make that ferocious comeback. And if there's ever a driver that I can feel is going to make a comeback tonight, it's going to be Min Hang in that machine that you just saw drop way outside of the top 20 right there. But the action's still going up in the front pack. Still slicing and dicing around this track here, Carlos. No calm yet. Everybody's just trying to gain position right now on lap 5. As we go around the corner now to the front stretch, it's still... Paul Hemus is now the race leader right now. He's overtaking David Westergreen by a little bit of a margin right there as they cross the start-finish line here on lap 6.
I believe this happened at the same time that Ming Hong took a turn down the grass, or I should say took a ride down the grass. So yeah, it looks like the 22 might be trying to save some tires. Either that or his car is not up to par, as he's now under challenge for that second spot, as Nick Delicado is trying to get past him back into second place. And don't look behind him, because Johnny Eckert is there and gonna get ready to bring that pink number 90 past him into third place.
Yeah, Nick Delicado is now trying to hold on to that second position with David Westergreen right behind him, as Paul Hemus is going to lead them down into one. As you mentioned, Johnny Eckert's right on the back bumper of now Westergreen. Westergreen's trying to hold on to that top 3 position. It's hard right now with Johnny Eckert right behind him down the backstretch. Now there goes Johnny Eckert. We got action. We got action off of 2. We got cars spinning out on the backstretch. No caution yet on the course. We'll see if there's a caution flag yet.
Just
there is not. Car. It looks like we're going to keep it going.
Oh, man. It's the washed guy of Matthew Bayou. Unfortunately, it looks like... Oh, that should be... Take over while I go try to find that replay and see what happened to Bayou.
Yeah, definitely. That's unfortunate there for a season debut racer right there to spin out on the backstretch. But right now, the action's still ensuing on this front pack as Johnny Eckert's trying to make a move on Nick Delicado for that second position. Keeps riding that back bumper as they go around 4 right now. Nick Delicado right now in that second position is riding that inside lane. Johnny Eckert's on the top side. Right now he's going to get squeezed a little bit from Roethlisberger behind him. David Westergreen slipped down into the 5th position. Now he's going to lose another position to Riley right there as they dig down into 1, head down the backstretch.
I got a replay here queued up. The 52 of that Larson that machine maybe drifts up a little too high. Clips the quarter panel of the 29 twice. Unfortunately, of course not on purpose. And the 29 almost hits that Jeff Gordon zone right there. And that would have been very damaging. And, I really hope he's okay, because that thing probably took a lot of Jeff Gordon's career when he hit that in 2008.
Yeah, that's definitely not the way there. But right now, Johnny Eckert's now trying to hold on to that second position. He is swung all the way up to that top side. Carlos going to lose a lot of momentum coming off of the corner. He's going to get squeezed just a little bit from Nick Delicado. You see Johnny Eckert now going to slide down into the 4th position as Roethlisberger and Eckert are both going to overtake from that bottom side. They've got help behind him right now, and Keegan Riley is going to follow them as well. Taking a look right now, it's still Paul Hemus up there is going to lead them down into 1 as the race leader. No change up there just yet. These guys are battling to see who can take on the leader. As you see, Nick Delicado still riding that inside lane as they head down the backstretch.
Yeah, Johnny Eckert is a racing connoisseur of knowledge on how to pass people and be patient. Johnny Eckert knows how to ride that outside line as well. As I gotta say, for all the warnings that we received about the inside line being a little scary, I'm a little surprised to see all these drivers touching it this late into the run. Maybe they're starting to figure it out now, because some of these guys are trying to make it work there on the inside. We see battle for that second spot between the 4 and the 90. Keegan Riley, it's like a little Oscar battle here going on. Zach Roethlisberger as well, as all these guys are going to try to chase the number 79 of Barrett Paul Hemus.
Yeah, Barrett Paul Hemus has shown what he's got here tonight, trying to make himself known here in the Dynasty Stock Car Racing League. As we cross the line here on lap 13, Johnny Eckert's holding on to that second position. Got a lot of speed behind him, though. Carlos and Keegan Riley, Nick Delicado, and Zach Roethlisberger. Zach Roethlisberger was the maid of the ball there during speed weeks. It was Nick Delicado who won the big main event, the Daytona 250. Carried that on into Phoenix the next week. Trying to make it 3 in a row here tonight. He's got some work to do right now, though, down in the 4th position. But as you mentioned, Carlos, they are riding that inside lane, because it looks like that top side just might have a little bit more speed around the course, but it looks like on the corners they are losing just a little bit more momentum, which makes that low side just a little bit faster on the track.
Oh, very close there between the 21 of Logan Stavosky and Brian Lorenzo. I thought they would have been making contact entering turn one, possibly wiping both of them out, but they did a great job of some very tight racing. It was a little too tight for lap 14, but you know, no harm, no fouls. Whoa, they made some contact again, I think, in the middle 3 and 4. As I might have to put a second camera on these guys just to make sure that nothing's going on here.
Oh yeah, they are rubbing doors right there, backside there. We're racing, I believe, right now. That's for, looking at the grid,
that's
13th. Racing for the 13th position, Carlos. So these, as I mentioned, folks, once this thing hits green, it doesn't matter what position you are or what position you are on the track. These guys race it out for every position on the track right now. But everybody's trying to get to Brad Palhemus right there at the top. But Keaton Riley's now worked his way up into the 2nd position. Johnny Eckert up there as well. Zach Roethlisberger in the 4th, and Nick Indelicato in 5th. But look now, Carlos, you got Seth Ross who's trying to make himself know. David Westergreen's now making that pass on Seth Ross there on the inside, trying to get back up to where he started at the pole position. He's now slipped down into 6th. We have some slicing and dicing, some sketchiness happening on the backstretch. Just a little bit there. The 58 is going to go to the inside of the 77 after getting loose. Going to try to make a big pass right here, Carlos, as they head around forward to the front stretch.
Last night when I was running the VRA League, those modifieds at Iowa, one of the things I had to do was kind of wait for people to make mistakes, clip the apron, give it too much beans, and then when they slipped up, that's when I was able to pounce. And it seems like that's going to be the case here tonight. We saw one of the drivers slipping up, getting a little loose off of one of the corners, and then next thing we know, it's a little check up of momentum, and some of the guys that were getting ready to pounce took off, and we went 4 wide for a brief second before that guy was able to pass 3 cars in one corner.
Yeah, Carlos, that may have been why I slipped up just a little bit there. I'm used to saying 10-4 broadcasting because you've been joining us up in the booth so many times there with your top 2 finishes 2 weeks in a row in those modified. So that may have why my brain got a little twisted there. I'm used to talking to you during interviews the way you've been racing in those modifieds.
Well, as a part-time effort, of course I'm only going to be finishing great when I'm doing part-time stuff. It's never when I'm doing like full-length league racing. Although when I'm racing on Oscar in the Sportsman's or in the Strictly Stock Series, I've been doing pretty good. 3rd in points right now, can't complain.
There you go, and the things have seemed to calm down just a little bit here at Vegas. Seems as though everybody has settled in here. With about 6 laps to go in stage 1. Johnny Eckert's not where he wants to be there on the outside with no help. Looks like Logan Savowski's going to go up there to try to help. Nope, Logan Savowski's just behind him just a little bit there. But Johnny Eckert's all by himself on that top side. Looks like everybody's now learned that the low side is the fastest way around this course because we are now single file for about, looks like about 8 positions on the track there, Carlos.
Yeah, so far some of the drivers that we saw racing up front or racing a little too hard up front are starting to drop back a little. But other than that, starting to calm down. We saw one driver make a mistake recently, causing a little bit of a checkup. But other than that, people are tending to stay single file. We do have some double file racing towards the back. We see right here the 21 and the 52 running side by side for this position here as well. But that battle just ended. Let's see who else is going on. Let's take a look at some of the drivers not running in the top 10. This is a big pack here. A battle for, 15th place. No, that is 14th. It's 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th. This group of 6 drivers here. I can't count and I can't even see well. 6 drivers, all a huge group right here. As we have 4 laps to go this time before stage number 1 ends.
Yeah, Carlos, and I was just about to ask you here. This is, I would say, probably one of the longest races we have here in the circuit. We got 134 laps here tonight. What would be if you were racing here tonight? What would be your strategy? Like, let's say if you were in this pack of cars we're taking a look at here, would it be just to kind of hang back, kind of take your time, kind of strategize throughout as these stages kind of tick down? You're going to count down laps, you're going to count down pit strategies, things like that. As you see the 08 scrape the wall just a little bit there on the top side. Yeah, I saw it. I saw the 08 tap, and then he came down and just clipped another car. No caution on the racetrack just yet. It might come out, though, because it looks like that car is slowing down.
Oh, he's got
with
suspension
that tire
damage.
Yep. No caution yet, folks, on lap 23. Nope, we're still racing here. But yeah, I'll go back to what I was asking you there, Carlos. What? Oh man, as Logan Savowski just gets into the back of the 77 just a little bit there. That kind of negates the question all the way there, Carlos, because it looks like everybody's just trying to race their way up to the front. Nobody's trying to keep it calm, cool, and collected here just yet.
Yep, take over while I try to figure out this replay here. Get something going, see just what happened. We got a glimpse of it live, but let's take a look at it at a different angle.
Of course, as Carlos is getting that replay revved up for you folks at home, you're just listening to the audio version here. We're taking a look at that replay now. We're multicam live on 3 Wide TV on YouTube. You see the 9 come up. You see that arrow kind of hit the green car right in the middle there. And then look at that, Carlos. There's nowhere to go if you're on that top side and that middle car gets loose and the danger zone claims another victim.
Oh man, heavy damage for both of those drivers involved. This was just a case of 3 wide gone wrong, as those 3 cars were essentially going to be taking place of 1.5 cars there in the exit of the corner. And unfortunately for Andrew Hess, and I believe that was the 09, that's going to be an early, at least for the 54, it's going to be an early exit here from tonight's race before stage 1 ends. And speaking of stage 1 ending, it just ended. Barrett Pahimus is your stage 1 winner. So take over again while I go ahead and get his graphic up and running.
Yeah, Barrett kind of won stage 1 in impressive fashion there. No competition just yet for him up at the top. Got a lot of speed coming behind him, though, as they come down into 3 right now. He's got Nick and Delicato in that 4 machine. Looks like Nick has tried to find his speed right now. He's cutting the gap on Barrett right up there at the top. Zach Roethlisberger, this is really the who's who of the Dynasty Stock Car Racing League. 3 races in right now. You know, we got Barrett Pahimus, who's really trying to make himself known here tonight. But other than that, Nick and Delicato's coming in with 2 wins. You know, we had Zach Roethlisberger qualify first and win a dual race, or not win the dual race, excuse me, but start off in the pole in the Daytona 250. So he's coming in with a lot of momentum as well right now as they dig down into 3. So really, as this thing counts down, we're on lap 27 here. We're probably going to see a lot more names in the mix here. Of course, we have Kean Riley up there as well. David Westergreen, who started on the pole, is down into 5th. But Carlos, you know, taking a look at that grid, a few names have kind of slipped back just a little bit. But one name I'm keeping an eye out for is that Marabello right there. Has now jumped up into the 7th position. I believe he started in the 22nd position.
Yeah, huge improvement. Up 19 spots, and you did ask me, you know, what would I try to be doing here, especially if I was in that pack. You know, I'm not a championship contending driver, so I don't really think like the best of them do. But recently, I have changed my approach to slightly more aggressive and not as conservative in terms of trying to save my stuff towards the end, because I realized iRacing doesn't really cater to that type of driving. It's either that or I'm really slow regardless. So I realized that if I'm just a little bit more aggressive, not full flat out, but if I just hold back just a little bit and I try to make my moves early, try to get as many spots as I can before the tires kind of like even out and passing becomes hard. I noticed that that's how I tend to kind of move up the field a little bit. Of course, I get helped out with cautions, and that's kind of what I've been doing the last 2 weeks in the previously mentioned VRA league, where I finished second back-to-back weeks. And you know, most of it kind of have to rely on luck. But if you need to make up a bunch of spots, or if you need to get yourself to the front, you gotta pick your way up as quickly as you can. Because then we get into these long runs where we're killing laps very quickly, and you're stuck in the middle of the pack and you can't get past anybody because it's hard to pass. So you gotta maximize as much as you can, but also realize that you're still early in the race to not push it too hard or put yourself in a situation where you find yourself shoved up against the outside wall because you went 3 wide when you should have just backed off.
Of course, Carlos, and as you were chatting there about overtaking positions and gaining positions on the track, we have a new race leader on the course right now. Nick Indelicato is now racing in that 4 machine down into 3 as the race leader. I've had a feeling that he was catching him just a little bit there. Barrett's now got some work on his hand because now he's got Zach Roethlisberger behind him. He's going to try to overtake him for that 2nd position. But Nick Indelicato, man, Carlos, what an impressive way of climbing up into that top position. Of course, he qualified 2nd here as we were chatting with him before the race. Got overtaken on that pole position by David Westergreen, but really wasted no time working his car inside of the top 3, getting back up into the lead, overtaking Barrett and Polhemus right there. And now Barrett's trying to hold on to that 2nd position as they dig down into 3, around 4 right now. Taking a look at some of the other cars in the mix right now, Carlos, but It's really a three-car race right now
Eckert!
on lap 33. Oh, Johnny Eckert and Logan Savelsky made contact on the front stretch. Oh no! As they go across the start-finish line, Logan Savelsky and Johnny Eckert make contact. No caution yet on the racetrack.
Huge contact. I just caught that with the second camera. Oh wow, that's heavy damage for both of them. I did want to talk about Eckert because it just seemed like he was dropping back quickly. It seemed like he just pushed his car too much there in the beginning. But go ahead and take over while I try to cue up a replay here.
Yeah, Johnny Eckert, I did notice that too as well, Carlos. I saw him just kind of bobbing inside of the top 10, outside of the top 10, then made contact with Logan Savelsky in that 21 machine right now. But on lap 34, it's Nick Indelicato leading the way right now. Barrett Polhemus in the second position. Zach Roethlisberger is in third. Kean Riley is in fourth. And David Westergreen, who started on the pole here tonight in Vegas, is down into fifth. As we're taking a look at that replay here live on 3Y TV, you see Johnny Eckert kind of come up on the track just a little bit.
Oh no, I think the 21 got loose.
I think they may have both gotten loose here because you saw Johnny Eckert get loose, the 21 get loose as well on the top side, and they just really bounced into each other like pinballs.
No, here,
you see right here.
Take a look at this angle again. And then look at both drivers, because the 21 is able to hold his line pretty well, the natural arc going up, and you see the 21 get loose and kind of come down on him, not on purpose, obviously.
Right. Yeah. But it really looked like Logan Savelsky got the worst of that as he made the contact with the outside wall. Johnny Eckert just went sliding into the infield grass there. Still able to maintain that race car. Another contact with Logan Savelsky there on the wall after the initial impact. So the 21 really got the worst of it there, Carlos, and that's unfortunate because Logan, we're taking a look at those point standings here, Carlos. You know, Logan's really been one of those drivers that's really hung on there. Logan Savelsky right now, we're taking a look at those point standings. He's not listed here, but he's one of those drivers that was in that contention for the Dash for Cash last week, so really needs to kind of get those performances going to kind of keep in line with that chase cut line, which is right now in the 12th position of Lorenzano. Seth Ross is in the 11th position, but you know, you really need to start. We're only on race 3 of 16 races here, Carlos, but to really maintain your spot in that table, it's time to kind of, you know, get those race results going, kind of get those finishes going right now. They're taking a look at this right now, Carlos. It's really a 3-car race here at Vegas with Nick Indelicato, Barrett Polhemus, and Zach Roethlisberger 1, 2, 3, and then you have a drop off to about 3.5 seconds for the 4th position.
By the way, I'm being shown with Logan Savelsky tied for 9th in the standings right now. I want to say 34 points away from the race, from the leader. Right.
So yeah, with this finish here tonight, it might drop him down just a little bit with that contact on the wall. If he can keep that thing out there and maintain those points, it's probably going to be best for him. If he retires earlier, Carlos, it might drop him down a little bit. Some of those drivers right on that cut line have pretty good performances here tonight. But right now, Carlos, now we're seeing a little bit more of a gap between a 2nd position and 3rd position. Things are starting to separate a little bit here at Vegas.
Yeah, the tire wear is showing, and right now we've got people who are running up front heavily, very quickly, maybe push their stuff too quickly. Is this going to be contact there? 2 blue cars, continue contact. Somebody's going to go around.
No!
Oh my God, are we going to get
big contact?
More contact? No.
Watch out! There goes the 70 again.
That is 3 incidents in a row where we're going to go caution free. I can't believe that happened. Somebody maybe should go a little bit lower, maybe below the white line. Yeah, there we go.
Man.
You see, from a spectator's point of view, it kind of looks like the 70 or also the 21 and maybe another car that we were showing earlier. It looks like they're kind of like shoving their car back up against the outside wall to maybe possibly get a caution. I can tell you that's not the case. With the new damage model, the suspension is literally getting ripped off, so it's no longer in their control. And depending on what factors that suspension is going, it'll just turn the wheel a direction where, you know, it wouldn't naturally be going, and so the car just jerks towards one direction. And in some cases, some of these drivers just they either don't expect it, or they're not used to it, or both. and it just shoves him right back into the outside wall and possibly causes a caution. Thankfully, every single time we haven't had a caution, but that's been pretty scary.
Yeah, Carlos, with these next-gen race cars, the aerodynamics on these things are unlike anything that anybody's seen or used to. I know even the professional drivers in real life are still trying to get used to these things here. We're into the playoffs already. Cup Series. I can only imagine what these iRacing drivers are having to deal with these aero packages, not only on the front fenders and the back fenders, but you get side by side with somebody, as you were just mentioning, Carlos. It's almost like a tug of war where you start feeling that car pull you. You're pulling to the right, you're pulling to the left. Can't really control right there. You see the 96 and the 30 are almost on top of one another there. And the 30 tries to clear, gets clipped by the 96. The 96 gets loose, clicks the 70 on the outside, and the danger zone lane clicks another car there, Carlos.
Ooh, some additional contact there on the back bumper of the 70. Couldn't quite get the number, but we do have green flag pit stops going on. Your race leader has already gone down pit road, or is currently going down pit road. Let's take a look. We got Nick Delicado, David Westergreen, William George, Nick Vasquez, Ming Hong, all going down pit road. Remember, Ming Hong earlier, he had some issues where he lost control and lost a ton of spots. So he's been slowly making his way up. I've noticed he was in the top 15 when he went down pit road. Zach Roethlisberger down pit road as well.
Yeah, and just before these green flag pit stops took place, I was going to mention, Carlos, that Nick Delicado not only our race leader on the track, but the fastest car on the track, ran a 32.2 right before these green flag pit stops. So definitely flying around the track here at Vegas.
Yeah, these guys are doing pretty good. We only have 6 laps, 5 laps next time by to go on this second stage, and we've gone caution free both races. Now, of course, if you've just tuned in, you probably haven't noticed. But we haven't gone a caution period, even for stage 1. That's because this league does have stages, but does not throw cautions for them. So it's kind of the way that a lot of people were asking NASCAR, or are still asking NASCAR, to kind of handle stages. At least I'm definitely on the camp for road courses very much, but still undetermined how I feel about going caution free for stages in the ovals. But I'm okay either way. No caution so far. 46 laps. I'm not a commentator, so when I go, here's the thing with me. I don't think when I talk, and I've had many people tell me this. So when I start talking, I don't know how I'm gonna end it, and I really hope I can figure it out by the time I get there. And most of the time, I don't.
No, that's all good.
Nick Delicado back into the lead as the pit stop cycles have pretty much wrapped up very quickly. You know what I like about this league? Very clean drivers that kind of know what they're doing. And already in this green flag pit stops, they handle it like that, all right? Like 3 laps, like less than 2 minutes, and these guys are done with their green flag cycle.
Man, those pit stops were faster than many Rays crematory and landscape cemetery services there. They get the job done quick, fast, and in a hurry. Go check is a wonderful sponsor here in the Dynasty Stock Car Racing League, as well as Pro Air. Pro Air supplies all those awesome medical devices for you. We thought they were an AC company to begin with. They are not. They are a medical device company there, Carlos. But right now, Nick Delicado is flying around this track faster than me, losing all my money at the slot machines in Vegas right now. He has wasted no time of getting that number 4 machine back out into the lead right now with 2 laps to go here in stage 2.
Yeah, but surprisingly, he hasn't checked out as much as I thought he would have, because Barrett Palhemus is still right behind him, less than half a second behind. And it kind of seems like he might just be running him down a little. See if we can pull up the last couple laps timing, I should say, on the lap history. See what just happened.
Yeah, taking a look
Take
at
over. I think I just broke something.
Yeah, taking a look at what just happened here right now on lap 48. We've got about 2 laps to go. You see Barrett Palhemus is trying to overtake Nick Delicado right now on the backstretch. You see the 4 just scrape the wall there. On the stretch, you see Barrett's going to go to the inside right now on 3. He's going to try to overtake right now on the apex of 4. Exiting 4 right now. Barrett Palhemus is going to try to overtake for the lead right now to the start-finish line. Nick Delicado is right there. He's going to squeeze him just a little bit on that outside wall there. Going to see if we're going to have a new race leader on the track. Nothing just yet. It looks like Barrett is going to clear. Now heading down into one around corner number 2 right now. Our new race leader on the track is Barrett Polhemus right there in that 79 machine as we're creeping up towards the end of stage number 2. I believe this is the last lap of stage 2 here. This is lap 49 or 50 right now. We're going to get that live scoring grid fixed for you, ladies and gentlemen, in just a second there as Barrett Polhemus is going to lead them across the line here. I believe he's going to win stage number 2 here. Going to go back-to-back stage wins there for Barrett Polhemus as we're rounding around corner number 2 right now down the backstretch with Nick and Delicato right behind Tim Voges. But it is a 2-car race, a 2-horse race here tonight at Vegas as the third position car of Zach Roethlisberger is now about 3.5 seconds behind these two drivers up at the top. So we've been these two guys here all night long as they are crossing the start-finish line right now on lap 52. Barrett Polhemus and Nick Delicato are battling out for the race lead as they're rounding around corner number 1, around 2 right now to the backstretch. Still Barrett Polhemus and Nick Delicato 1-2 right there. As you see, Barrett's going to get a little bit of a separation now. Just hit a 31.3 on the track. What a lap it was for Barrett Polhemus right there on those fresh tires. That fresh fuel still rocking around the racetrack here on lap 53. It looks like both drivers are taking a little bit of a middle line here as we head down the backstretch. Not really necessarily hitting that inside lane just fully, keeping it up just a little bit off that white line, not going totally high side with these corners, kind of right in the middle. I think Barry's going to hit the inside just a little bit more on the exit of the corner. He's going to ride a little bit more speed here. We'll see what this lap time is here on lap 53. Right now he just ran a 31.2 last lap. And we do have a caution on the racetrack here, ladies and gentlemen. Our first caution of the night. Oh no, and it looks like it is David Westergreen might be tagged up in that, Carlos.
I'm sorry. Keep on going. I'm really sorry about this. I'm working on fixing it. What's going on?
No, we're gonna get that live scoring fixed for you, ladies and gentlemen, here as we have a break in the action. We have our first caution on the racetrack here at Vegas on lap 54, so we're going to have a break in the action for just a little while here. So everyone's going to slow down here. The cleanup crew is going to come out and fix all that debris on the track here. As we second to do so, we're going to take just a small breather in the action, and we'll be right back with that race action here live on 3Y TV.
You're back.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here on 3Y TV. What brought out our first caution of the night here on lap 54. We had a car ice skating backwards down the track there, Carlos, on turn that they were playing hockey for a minute here at Las Vegas. They had a little skate backwards there, if you will, there in that 36 machine. We'll try to see what happened with that 36. Well, we've seen it here tonight, Carlos. It's been a tricky course so far. With all the action we've seen so far, that is our first caution of the night. See the 36 made contact with the 20. Oh, yeah, and that's it right there, Carlos. Really went really low there on the entry of one. Came in really fast. You never really saw that 36 slow down at all. And once that 36 realized that he had way too much on that corner and tried to drift up the track, the 20 was right there and sent him right onto that outside wall, unfortunately.
So, sorry for the delay, guys. We're trying to get the graphics all set up correctly since SDK crashed, and it looks like I may have to just quickly take care of one small thing. But yeah, we had a really good run going on until 55 when the caution came out. But I gotta say, hey, that was a great 55 lap run to start off this Nevada 201.
It really was, Carlos. You only saw a little bit of a separation there between third place and fourth place. Things were still rocking and rolling there for a while, but things really stayed tight there in those positions that were outside of the top three. Drivers are going side by side, sometimes three wide. And all the action we've seen here tonight, Carlos, we've only seen a couple guys make contact with the outside wall. But it really shows the driver skill of these drivers here in the Dynasty Stock Car Racing League. Even though you get loose or you start spinning down the infield, down the backstretch, a lot of these drivers have done an excellent job of not only keeping their cars clean, but keeping the other cars in the field as well when they're in. And that's what really has led to only us having one caution in 54 laps, is the ability of these drivers to know where they're at on the track, even though they could be spinning, they could be loose, they could be sliding sideways, but knowing, okay, the track's right there, the other cars are right there, I know how to save this race car without taking anybody else.
All right. Well, while we are still under caution, we're going to green this time by. Unfortunately, Will, we are having those issues with your microphone cutting out. So just back out of the channel, come back in very quickly. That should take care of that. Looks like if that did go, or if that does go according to our theory, then that should be a very quick fix, and we should have found we have found the issue for that, hopefully, or the fix for that, I should say. But well, let's go ahead and hear your voice again. See if you're sounding perfectly fine now.
Yes, sir. I'm rocking and rolling once again.
That's good to hear. Well, 58 laps to go. We saw 55 laps of green flag racing. Who were your biggest winners? Who were your biggest losers?
Now it's going to be Marabella right there in the 6th position. My biggest winner so far. Biggest loser right now. It's hard to say, Carlos, because we've seen a couple guys getting some early trouble. Johnny Eckert's gotten some early trouble. A few of these other guys as well have kind of slipped. David Westergreen's gotten some early trouble, has worked his way back up into the top 5 position. But biggest loser, I can't really call one out so far here tonight, Carlos. There are a few biggest winners, but nobody really has disappointed yet here tonight. We've had guys kind of climb up that grid, try to put themselves in position. But Carlos, this is going to be one heck of a restart here tonight. This is going to be the first time everybody's bunched up once again since the green flag. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Things are on and popping here once again in the Dynasty Stock Car Racing League as the green flag is in the air. And Barrett Paul Hemus is going to take them down into corner number 1.
Yep, your stage 1 and 2 winner already getting a nice clean separation from the rest of the pack as they're going down into turns 1 and 2 in the back. They're already going 3 wide. But so far, nice and clean for your stage 1 and 2 winner, Nick Delicado. In second, battle 3 wide for 3rd place there behind, including Rosensberger, Riley, and Marabello.
Yes, sir. Barrett Paul Hemus going to lead them down onto the front stretch here. They're racing for 2nd place right now. Zach Roethlisberger's thought about the inside right there, and Nick Delicado wisely pulled right behind him. But there goes Keegan Riley right there, and that 11 machine's going to try to go to the outside. But Zach Roethlisberger's going to stay on the middle right here as they come around too. Going to block that move from Keegan Riley right there as they head down the backstretch.
One of the biggest movers I expect to happen in this run now that the caution came out is Ming Hong, who was able to get to the top 15 before the caution came out. And I think that he's going to be able to start making his way back into the top 10 now that he's had a chance to catch up to the rest of the field.
Yeah, we've seen right now Min Hang is right down there into the 18th position right now. But a name to keep an eye out for, Carl, outside of the top 12 in points right now. Taking a look at those point standings. Oh, he's just inside the cut line.
Will? I think we may have lost Will. I'm not sure what's going on, but let's see.
Discord may have kicked me out of our little group here, Carlos, for some whatever reason. An alien jumped into my machine and jumped and bounced me out of here. But I'm still rocking and rolling. The one name I was gonna say that to keep an eye out for, Carlos, he is inside of the top 10 right now, and that is Seth Rollins. He's got about a 5-point lead on that cut line there for the chase, but right now is inside of the top 10 finish here tonight. It's going to really solidify his spot inside the top 12 in points.
Oh, wrecking in the front!
There we go. That's Zach Roethlisberger right there. See who else is selected in there. Right now we have our second caution on the track right now, ladies and gentlemen. Zach Roethlisberger, who we've been mentioning virtually all night here tonight, Carlos, is involved in that. We're going to take a look at this replay here live on 3Y TV. Not quite sure what, Carlos. We're seeing maybe the tail end of that where he's making contact on the outside wall. Really unfortunate right here. Taking a look on corner number 3. Oh, he gets stuck in that inside lane there, Carlos.
There was contact with that Larson Land machine, and it shoved them up into that black and pink. I can't quite see what number that is. And, ooh, who is that in the white and pink car as well running into him? Is that Seth Rollins?
That, I can't really tell from here, Carlos.
No, that's not Seth Rollins. I can't quite see who that was. Oh, it's the 83 machine.
Yeah. But right now, Carlos, you see David Westergreen go to the infield right there to save his race car. Well, what I saw from that right there, Carlos, you saw Zach Roethlisberger in that middle lane. And then really, we've seen it all night long. The aerodynamics of these race cars really tried to play with him right there. Almost like a paranormal activity playing with the doors in your house there. Just really kind of shook that race car. And when he tried to save that thing on the exit of the corner, it was really too late for him to do any of that thing. The ghost had already taken over that thing. And it was way too late for him to save that race car. And the Larson Land machine, as you mentioned, was just an innocent bystander because Zach really came out and thought he could maintain. The arrow just grabbed his car, pulled him towards that black and figure out who that was there, Carlos, but pulled him towards that car. And once you start to feel that pull, there's really nothing you can do.
It's a real shame. We could have possibly had another good run to finish this, but stages 1 and 2 are done. We no longer have to worry about them. Under caution here for the second time tonight here in the Nevada 201. Of course, 51 miles longer than last week's event at Phoenix. Next week, we are going to be heading on to Auto Club for the California 200. Of course, next week is a Dash for Cash race. So your top 4 finalists in here are your 4 Dash for Cash participants, as well as whoever is 5th and 6th. They're the first 2 backup qualifiers in the event that 1 or 2 of those drivers are not able to make it. After that, we are going to be taking a week off, so that's going to be the first scheduled off week. However, just in case, next week, iRacing is releasing the Season 4 build. Should something happen, such as the build taking way too long, iRacing becoming unstable, an issue with the cars or track, the officials have already told us and the drivers that should anything like that happen, that could delay or impede the participation of the race next week. It will be delayed to the next off week available, in that case being the week after that. So if that happens, then we'll just be switching and having an off week next week. But for right now, so far, we're scheduling to race and broadcast next week at the same time in California.
Yes, sir. And we are on our West Coast swing here in the Dynasty Stock Car Racing League. You can catch us here every week here at around, we go live, around 8:50 or so there, Carlos. You can catch us here on 3Y TV. Lights are about to shut off here. They are shut off right now as Barrett Polimus is our race leader. And Carlos, I wanted to ask you, as we're going to have one more lap under What's your take so far here in tonight's race? You know, we saw about a 3-car separation there. We've seen kind of instances on the track, but only 2 cautions so far. What do you say has been the pace so far, and how do you see the rest of this thing playing out?
Seems like these drivers are with the idea of trying to get as many spots as you can before the field spreads out and the tire wear kind of makes it harder to pass, which is why we've already seen 2, well, not 2 quick cautions, but 1 quick caution already. This is the second caution. We're going to have our second restart. But it seems, I feel like the league has kind of lucked out on having not having a couple cautions. We've had 3 incidents which just like maybe a pixel off from having a caution come out, but the rest of the racing has been ultra clean, very competitive, and I expect to see us finishing in another green flag run.
Yes, sir, as we're about to see that pace car peel off of these leaders. We have Kean Riley up there as well as Barrett Polhemus. Now 1-2 side by side as we see that pace car pull off. Things are about to get on and popping again. Once again here in Las Vegas. Throw that ball under the roulette table, get that thing spinning once again, because we are green once again here at Las Vegas, as Barrett Polhemus is going to lead them down into corner number 1.
Another excellent start for Barrett, as he's already 2 or 1.5 car lengths entering turns 1 and 2. Taking the middle line, trying to stay cautious of the inside line is Kean Riley and Nick Delicato battling side by side for that second spot.
Tight off of corner number 2 right there between Kean Riley and Nick Delicato. They almost made contact on the on 3 or round 4 right now.
These drivers are all able to cleanly get through the first 4 corners here on this second attempt at a restart. As the first 2 drivers are starting to check out, they are by themselves. Now the battle is for 3rd place between Brian Lorenzo and Nick Delicato. And then right behind them, we have DJ Weeks and Seth Rawls. No problem here, as both of these, or these 4 drivers here going side by side 2 times in a row are still they're able to give each other as much space as they want, but I'm noticing that Barrett isn't really able to pull away as much as I probably expected him to. Kean Riley is right there, but the other 4 drivers that are battling side by side, they're right to the back bumpers, and Delicato gets a little loose on the inside there of turns 1 and 2. As one of those drivers is all the way, did a great job. This Nick Vasquez did a great job of not hitting anything, and unfortunately he's going to pull a Ming Hong and lose a bunch of spots here. But you know, a quick caution will be able to get him back into the game. But great job, Nick Vasquez, of saving his car and not bringing out another caution.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed, Barrett right up there at the top there, Carlos, right now is he has a battle on his hands right now as Kean Riley's right there, and that 11's really pushing that back bumper. Oh, man! Oh, swing! They were 3 wide on the exit of the corner right now. Watch out, contact! Nick Delicato is going to go to the middle right now. Is going to swing to the inside. Going to save that race car. Is now Kean Riley is our race leader there to the start finish.
Yeah, what a fantastic drive by the 11 of Kean Riley. You've been noticing him this whole race. You've called out how great he's been driving, and right now here towards the end, as we're slightly past the halfway mark of the race, he is currently your race leader. It's another bonus point for Kean Riley, as the whole field is kind of packed up. We're kind of seeing like the racing that the old Gen 5, or I should say the old Gen 6 was kind of showing us for a little bit towards the end there, where they cut the horsepower and added drag, kind of like the whole miniature pack racing. That's kind of what we're seeing right now, although it doesn't feel like that's the case, as all these drivers are going to start getting spread out, and we're going to be seeing these guys kind of lose the grip, as I think that's Seth Rawls I was watching. I thought he was about to hit the outside wall, but he got a great run, and he's battling for 3rd now.
Yeah, right now as they're coming off a 4 to that front stretch here, another guy I'm keeping an eye out for right now, Carlos, is that 77 with Rosano. Done a great job of climbing through, kind of bubbled inside of the top throughout tonight's race. Now he's got that race car inside of the top 4. They're trying to battle his way up into that top position. They're trying to find his partner up there at the top. Looks like he may have found one when Seth Rawls, who's on the outside of him right now, taking a look at the cars behind him here live on 3Y TV. If you're watching along with us here on YouTube, we're digging down into corner number 3 right now. We have pursuing on the track here, Carlos. You know, I mentioned this to start off the broadcast. I said, keep an eye out some of those guys that started there on the middle of the pack, tail end of the pack, to work their way up through the grid, and we have exactly that right now. You know, we have Kean Riley and Nick and Delicato who've been up here virtually the whole race, Carlos. But now a lot of these guys we haven't called out at all here tonight. As you're watching the grid here, Barrett Paul Hemus is down in the 9th position. A lot of these guys haven't been running top 10 at all here tonight, and now putting their race cars in the mix here for victory lane.
The only thing I'm slightly concerned are some of these drivers just pushing it a little too hard. We saw what happened with Johnny Eckert. He gave it just too much there in the beginning, I'm assuming, and killed his tires, and he just started dropping like a rock after, like, let's say lap 30. I think that's when it happened, until eventually he was involved in an incident that took him out of the race. One of those incidents that were mentioned earlier that didn't bring out a caution, but were probably, you know, cautions like just about to come out.
Yeah, right now, as you mentioned that, you see Seth Rollins in that 25, losing little positions on the track right now. He's down in the 6th position. He was just inside the top 3, just about a lap of go. But now we have a battle for lead right now, heading down into corner number 1. Kean Riley and Weeks are battling out for the lead. Looks like Weeks, oh, watch out! Weeks is going to touch the apron just a little bit. It's going to swing up the track. The 11 of Kean Riley is going to do a great job of avoiding that, but now they are 3 wide down the backstretch, down into 3. Nick and Delicato is going to squeeze that middle line there on 3 and 4. Still got Weeks right there on the inside. They are side by side, 1, 2, 3, 4 now crossing that start-finish line.
I love it when these drivers go 3 wide on 3 wide TV here, but even more so when it's for the lead. And that's what we saw there after DJ Weeks clipped the apron literally a lap ago, and with the momentum that he had on the backstretch, after getting a little bit of a push there actually in the corner, was able to get that lead back, and now he's solo up on front, and Matt Brewer, who seemingly came out of nowhere, is 2nd place by himself right there on that behind of DJ Weeks.
Yeah, DJ Weeks is looking fresh to death in that all-white race car here, trying to get that white in before Labor Day here, trying to put that 97 machine in victory lane at Nevada. He's going to go out in his all-white 3-piece suit here tonight on the strip if he wins in that all-white race car. But he's got a battle behind him right now with the Brewer. And now he's starting to separate just a little bit as Nick and Delicato is going to overtake Weeks for that 2nd position as we dig down into corner number 3, right on the outside of 4 right now. Weeks is going to separate, but here comes that 4, Nick and Delicato, who's raced top 3 the entire race here tonight, Carlos.
Yeah, this last lap, Matt Brewer on the exit of turns 2, he had a bad corner. Not sure if he got a little tight on turn 1 or just pushed it on the gas a little too early in turn 2, but he went high, wide, and handsome, and was able to lose a bunch of time on the race leader, and the loss of momentum caused Nick and Delicato to just pull right on past him. And since then, he's lost the 2nd spot to Kean Riley, as Matt Brewer is finding himself now in 4th after being right behind the race leader at this point 2 laps ago.
Dude, taking a look at those lap times at the top of your screen here, if you're watching live along 3 Wide TV on YouTube, Nick and Delicato and DJ Weeks are virtually inseparable in lap times right there. Just a small margin of distance between the two. So I see Nick and Delicato getting side by side with him here just pretty soon. As you're taking a look at the bottom of your screen here, it's very, very close there, Carlos. I'm going to see these two probably drag racing here in about a lap and a half, 2 laps, if I'm not mistaken.
I just got to be careful. Seeing some of these guys may have already killed their tires, as I just noticed that it is thundering like crazy outside right now in real life. So if you guys do hear some thunder, I do apologize. I can't control the weather, Jackie.
We got thunder and we got lightning on the track here at Las Vegas as the things are popping off here. A lot of these drivers have been waiting their turn, kind of just keeping it patient, keeping it zen, if you will, like Mighty Buddha here on the track. But they said, okay, now it's time for us to shine. They're feeling like Cal-Non on the track. They want to win 1-2 for their race teams right now as we are 3 wide on the corner. Gonna get squeezed just a little bit there. These are battles going on.
Oh, in the back!
Oh no! We have contact behind them. Man, that's probably gonna bring out a caution, as that was a 2-car incident. We don't see a caution light just yet here at Vegas, but that was Ming Hong. We were 3 there on the corner.
Let's see if we can find something. Oh, yeah, Ming Hong hit the outside wall, and unfortunately the momentum shoved him down and took Tom Ogle with him.
Oh,
no
man.
caution, though, no caution.
Just hasn't been their night here. I know Tom Ogle hasn't really ran the race that he was probably wanting to here at Vegas. Min Hang came into this race with a lot of momentum. One of the names that I called out before the race here to keep an eye out for. And Carlos, I may have put the commentator's curse on him because he's just stumbling and bumbling around Las Vegas here tonight. You know, he really wants to call it a day here the way he's been racing. Maybe just go ahead and hit that strip early here tonight. But you see those things on the right-hand side of your screen right now. Min Hang coming into this race here was in the solid third position, tied with Riley Marabello right there with 80 overall, or about a 10-point lead there on fourth place, excuse me there. But with the finish here tonight and Riley Marabello, who 15 laps down, we're going to probably see some of these names maybe leapfrog them in the points if everything finishes the way it is here tonight, Carlos.
Yeah, we're definitely going to have a shuffle of the points, but what we might not have is a different points leader because, second place, Nick Delicado, he's still in prime contention of winning his third race in a row. And even if he finishes second here tonight, that's still good enough to retain that points lead, as Nick Delicado so far has had a fantastic start to the racing season. And I gotta say, even if he does end up getting wrecked out here tonight, I gotta say that's 3 races in a row where he's shown strong race-winning performance.
Yes, sir. And coming into this race, ladies and gentlemen, if this is your first race listening along or watching along with us here on 3Y TV, Nick Delicado comes into tonight's race. 3 wide battle right now. I believe this is for the third position, Carlos. Really battling it out right there. Oh, man, as you see, Lozano in that 77's really pushing Barrett Polhemus up the track there in that 79. Kean Riley's going to try to follow the 77 there on the inside lane. Backstretch! Oh, man, that was... Kean Riley's going to try the inside right there on the entry of 3.
Oh, that 77 of Brian Lorenzo just pushed it too hard on the exit of turns 1 and 2 there that last time by, and has lost 3 positions in so right now, Barrett Polhemus, your stage 1 and 2 winner, Brian Lorenzo, not Brian, I meant to say Seth Rawls, but Brian Lorenzo in second. Seth Rawls currently battling alongside Kean Riley, who we saw Riley battling for the race lead early into this current restart, this current green flag run. And, they're all losing a bunch of time to the top 2 right now of DJ Weeks and Nick Delicado.
Taking a look at those lap times as well there, Carlos. Nick Delicado is running faster lap times than DJ Weeks there up at the lead. So watch out for that Ford machine to overtake DJ Weeks up there in that 97. But ladies and gentlemen, we're on lap 89 of right here at Las Vegas here live on 3Y TV. I do want to say we appreciate everybody for listening along or watching along or however you like to take in your iRacing here every single week. This has been one heck of a season so far, Carlos. We're on race number 3 here in the Dynasty Stock Car Racing League. That has been action-packed week in and week out here in this series right now as DJ Weeks is going to take them down into 1 coming around 2. Still got Nick Delicado in that Ford machine. It is making ground right there. If you're watching along with us here on 3Y TV, you'll see those lap times at the bottom of your screen. Nick Delicado is putting in faster lap times than DJ Weeks. Use that draft to his advantage. He knows Nick is behind him, but he knows if he can slide up the track to kill that momentum, it kind of slows down that speed, if you will, there, Carlos.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if Delicado can actually do anything and maybe get past him, because as you mentioned, he can get right behind him, but after that, it's a little hard on what he can and can't do. Because he tries to get close enough, but then that whole draft effect takes in and it kind of makes him push on the exit of the corners. But if he can get a good run and time it just right, we might be taking a look at a 3-time winner here. At least 3 times in a row to start the season. This league is only 2 races young. This is the 3rd race of the league overall in terms of points paying races. And they've only had 1 winner. And I'm sure the rest of the field wants to add their name to this very, very short list of winners here.
three
hello?
wide TV. There is quite the separation between Nick and Dale Weeks in third position. We're looking at about a 4-second gap there, Carlos, as Nick and Dale Okada is going to go to the inside of DJ Weeks now on the entry of one. Is going to try to make that move there as they come around two.
Yeah, side by side on the exit of two. Wow, I expected Nick and Dale Okada to maybe push a little, but he's got the same amount of momentum as they're going to go even side by side into turns 3 and 4. Might see the same thing. As, yeah, you can see just how hard the inside line is struggling. As, I don't know what Nick and Okada is doing, but he's able to keep up as some of the drivers are going down pit road.
Yeah, we got green flag pit stops happening at major battle for the lead ensuing right there. Maybe these drivers just figure if they can get it out of the way early, they can put themselves in contention as well. As you see DJ there on the exit of 2. Nick and Dale Okada is going to carry that to overtake right now as they head down 3 around 4. Now your race leader on the track is that Ford machine of Nick and Dale Okada as we exit 4 heading down the front stretch.
Pit road, 1 lap early. As Will, why don't you go ahead and just quickly restart your call here. DJ Weeks is down in pit road. John DeBarro down in pit road. Parham as well down in pit road. Now the question is, did he pit at the perfect time, or did he pit maybe a little bit too early? And is Nick gonna go down pit road this time by, or is he gonna try to stay out, maybe stick to his strategy? As caution is out, what a fantastic move by Nick and Dale Okada by staying out, and unfortunately this is gonna cost a lot to DJ Weeks. Wait, he's going down pit road. No, you can't. You're under caution. What are you doing? Is he out of fuel? Is that what he is? Does he have to go down pit road?
I'm not sure what the strategy is here, Carlos. Maybe he just wasn't. That a caution flag was on the course right now. Because with that, that's going to be.
That's a penalty. That's a black flag. Seth Rawls is being shown. Something happened to Seth. Did he give it too much beans on those? Oh no, he had nothing. Oh, Wester Green. Give it a little bit too much beans there as he was getting up to speed and just sideswiped the 25 accidentally.
Oof, that's going to be a hot garage at the end of this. With David Westergreen and Seth Ross exiting pit road side by side there. You see David Westergreen in that 22.
Oh, man.
That's just got to be something with the steering there, Carlos.
No, it just gave it just a little bit too much gas, and the rear tires spun. And for Westergreen, he had no idea that 25 was, well, to him, the 25 was never on his outside until like the very end of that little slip up. And Ross couldn't do anything about that. He had barely any time to react as he just happened to be at the wrong spot at possibly the right time. We never would have known, but unfortunately, because of that, caution comes out. Weeks is your current leader. I'm not sure if he got the lucky dog and has yet to give the spots up, but he's currently being shown as your race leader. And well, he did go down pit road when it was green.
Yeah, Carlos. And my biggest question here is Nick and Dale Okada in that Ford machine, and maybe
I think
Carlos,
he got the lucky dog.
Yeah. I was gonna say maybe we could get somebody from race control to kind of break down what happened there, because as you were mentioning there, he was heading down pit road as the caution flag was out. So it's kind of like a fine line of riding it there, but maybe he wasn't informed caution flag until he started to head down pit road. Just a very fine line of that rule book there, Carlos, as you were mentioning, but nonetheless, we have quite the shakeup on the grid here, Carlos. Looking at about 41 laps to go here at Vegas. We only have 3 cautions in. It's been a pretty clean race so far.
So far, so good. Let's see if we can actually get a quick word with Nick and Dale Okada, and if we're quick enough, talk to DJ Weeks, because I think he is your race leader.
Let's see if we can bring him in real quick. We'll bring Nick and Dale Okada. I'll let you take it away there, Carlos.
Nick, it seemed like you had the perfect strategy. You stayed out right when the caution came out. DJ Weeks already went down pit road, but when the caution came out, it seemed like maybe you were out of fuel because you went down pit road. Can you tell us what happened?
Yeah, I wanted to stay that extra lap. I just wanted to make sure I was good on fuel, and strategy, I guess, caught me out there. It's just really unlucky. But yeah, we got a drop to end. I had to come to pit road. I didn't have enough fuel to make it another lap around, even under yellow. So, you know, I knew it was a chance, but it was such an unlikely chance. But it ended up happening anyway. So we're gonna be back of the pack on this restart. Just gotta hope not to wreck.
Yeah, yeah, and it's showing you currently 10th, but you're going to be starting behind all the drivers are a lap down. Do you think if you get another quick caution, do you have another chance at getting a win here?
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna have 30 plus laps to go here. There's you know, there's still a chance. So, I've been really good today, and I caught Weeks there. I think he was on fresher tires. I've been doing a really good job. So, can't save tires now. Gonna have to go for it, but there's definitely still a chance.
All right, well, we wish you good luck here. It seems like you're going to go back down pit road, but good luck here with these remaining 30-odd laps remaining.
Yes, sir. Have a good day.
All right, let's see if we can get a quick word with Weeks. I think we're going to go 1-2 green this time by, but I just want to hear his reactions of him getting the lead. Let's see if we can bring him up.
Yeah, we're joined by DJ Weeks himself up here in the 3Y TV broadcasting booth. And DJ, you got a copy there on the radio?
What's up, guys?
Hey, man, we saw you race your way up into the lead there. Kind of a funny situation there. You guys were making green flag pit stops. Nick and Delicato headed down right after the caution. Kind of a big shakeup there. Were you surprised that after all of that you came out with the race lead?
Yeah. Yeah, I was lucky I was on pit road when the caution came out, so I got to pass the pace car and keep the lead. I think he ran out. He had no choice but to pit. So I'm the luckiest man in Las Vegas right now.
Go ahead, Carlos.
No, that's it. We're gonna bring you back because you guys are already in the backstretch of 1 green. But good luck out there. I just wanted to hear your reaction of getting the lead.
We're extending. We're gonna extend for the cars. The way we're
okay. Oh, well, okay. That's perfect then. Did you expect to, like? I thought you would have gone a lap down. How did you not do that?
So, I think the caution freezes the field, and I was already in my box, so I think it keeps you in front of the leader. And then when Nick pit it, that gave me that extra 5-6 seconds to, trample down pit road at pace speed and get back in front of the pace car.
Wow. Well, I gotta say, you got very lucky. Do you think you're gonna maybe get a lottery ticket or actually do some betting after this?
Oh, I probably should. Get the casinos.
All right, well, we wish you good luck here, unless, you have any last-minute questions?
DJ, I just wanted to ask you, man, as we're going to head down this last lap under caution, we saw you overtake the lead there, kind of work your way through the grid with about 34 laps to go. What do you think is going to be the key to putting that 97 machine in victory lane here tonight?
Don't spin and run away from Nick and Delicato.
Sounds good to me, man. Alrighty, well, good luck the rest of the way here, man. I'm sure we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, guys. Enjoy it.
Of course, that was DJ Weeks there in that 97 there, Carlos. And DJ is really, like I just said there, has kind of raced his way back up into the lead. One of those cars that I said to start off this broadcast to keep an eye out for, really started outside of the top 10, kind of in that middle pack there, Carlos. But the way this race is really ensued, if you kind of laid back, worked your way up position by position by position, now you look at that car of DJ Weeks, he's up there in the lead in that 97 machine.
Yeah, but the question is he going to be able to hold on to it? We saw that DJ Weeks and Delicato were the two drivers to pull away from the rest of the field. Can he do the same thing, except this time by himself?
But here we go. Throw those quarters in the machine. You hit that spin button. You win those money bonuses because we are back green flag racing here at Las Vegas as DJ Weeks is going to take them down into corner number 1 with Robinson and Vasquez right behind him. And here we go, folks. We're racing once again as the 12 thought about a move there on the entry of 1, but it is going to be DJ Weeks leading them around 1 and 2 down the backstretch.
Not sure if this was by design or not, but it seemed like DJ Weeks used every single inch of that Geico restart zone and then some, because he had the 12 of Nick Vasquez right on his buttocks, pushing him right before he even took off, and it seemed like it did work out for both of them as they are now single file 1-2, and the 12 is looking on the outside. Good block. Now he's going to dive onto the inside. Never mind. He's going to hang on there in the middle, but these two drivers, maybe a little bit of that patience kind of pulled off as they are now single file 1-2. Oh, in the wall!
Yeah, we're still good. We're still good right now as we go down into 3, coming around 4 right now. I was just about to mention there, Carlos, at 97 machine of DJ Weeks. We saw it with Nick and Delicato behind him in the 4. He's done an excellent job of riding his inside lane there, swinging that race car back up to the top side to block that, using a little bit of momentum of that backdraft to push him in front of that second position. You'll watch it here if you're watching live with us here on 3Wide TV. He'll go to the low side. He'll swing that race car back up to the top, knowing that car's there. He'll use that momentum down the backstretch right here. He'll ride that momentum down into 3. He'll get low down into 3 right here. He'll know that 12 cars behind him all the way around the corner. He'll swing back up the track right here. Use that momentum to push him across the start-finish line. The 12 still there. And it's still DJ Weeks leading him down into corner number 1.
Yeah, that's a very useful strategy, but not only does it do what you said, it also puts the dirty air on that car behind him, and it kind of forces that car to kind of push and push more. And the only way they can avoid you at that speed is to just go higher and higher, which results in them getting a bad angle. So that's a very useful strategy in draft blocking, in a way you can say, that was kind of really discovered back when the dirty air played such a big factor in some of these old Gen 6 vehicles.
And really, Carlos, as we're coming around corner number 2 right now, going down the backstretch, with that move from DJ Weeks of using that second position car to kind of push him along. Oh no, we see Johnny Eckert's going to make contact with the wall there on the backstretch. We just saw him climbing back up through the field. I was just about to mention his name, but he just made contact with the wall there. But with that strategy there, Carlos, the top 2 cars tend to separate. We saw a hot pink car right there. I believe that is Johnny Eckert right there, the 90 machine.
Time out. Johnny Eckert, I thought he was multiple laps down. How is he on the lead lap? Not only that, last time by, he just ran the fastest lap of the race. I guess not this time, but the previous time. This is what I was saying. Johnny Eckert, a connoisseur of racing in these type of vehicles. He's back in the top 10. I thought he was out of this.
So fast that he scraped the wall, still handled his momentum, and he's still racing inside the top 10 right now, Carlos. Man, he's showing what he can do on those Tuesday night races there in the Virtual Racing Association. The Modifieds has no problem jumping into these next gens the following day and racing these things around here at Vegas. But man, that thing's getting sketchy off of 2 right now as we head down into the corner number 3. I'm keeping an eye on that so far here, Carlos, as we're ticking down the laps here at Vegas. The exit of 2, just keeping an eye out for that, as now the 97 is going to have to try to go to the inside to use that draft strategy. But you see a big line forming there on the outside. The 97's really trying to hold on here as we come around corner number 2 to the backstretch.
Yeah, last green flag run, we saw battles for the lead pretty much every single lap within a whole bunch of contending drivers. This time by, though, it's just been one driver, DJ Weeks, has been holding on to that top spot. Nick Vasquez has been doing a great job of holding on to that second spot, but after that, nobody else really has a chance of even getting up front. It's just been the same 2 drivers all this restart so far, or all this run so far.
Right, exactly, Carlos. As we're now exiting corner number 2 to that backstretch, it's still DJ Weeks up there. He's got Vasquez right behind him in that 12 machine. But the 97's really trying to have to hold on as he head down into corner number 3. Brewer's going to try to make a move to the inside. Going to try to catch that draft off the DJ Weeks. Try to ride him around corner number 3 outside of 4 right now. Coming across the start-finish line here on lap 110. As you see, oh no, Brewer's going to hit that infield. Going to lose some speed there. He's going to ride it right up there, almost like we're racing Phoenix again right now as we're coming around corner number 1, around 2.
John DeBar is doing a great job of getting to that inside, running below the apron, and is now in 3rd place, but he's being challenged by Riley, and look who's just 1 spot shy of the top 5. There's that white and pink T-Mobile machine, as he's actually now in the top 5, has just gone past Nick Delicato. Say hello to Johnny Eckert, back from having a major incident there in that first run.
And just like T-Mobile having the best coverage in the United States, Johnny Eckert, I believe, has had the best race so far here tonight, Carlos. As you mentioned, got an early trouble here tonight. Went a couple laps down. Went a couple laps down. Has now worked himself inside the top 5 right there. Has overtaken Nick Delicato, who has now slipped outside of the top 5. A driver we're keeping an eye out for here tonight, coming in with 2 back-to-back wins. But right now, we got 23 laps to go. Keegan Riley has now put that 11 up there in contention. Man, this is anybody's ball game here towards the end as we're coming around corner number 2.
I think so far this run is really benefiting Weeks and Vasquez. They've been taking it easy, especially Weeks. So he's been saving tire. You can tell, even though he's running some quick laps, he hasn't had to really adjust his driving line. Vasquez right now is battling against Riley. Little too much beans, or there was contact. I couldn't quite tell, but he got loose. Gonna lose a ton of momentum. He's gonna block just like Logano did to Kenson.
Oh man, this thing is getting hot and heavy to end this race out here, Carlos. As you see that Ford machine now come back in your point of view. Nick and Delicato, with all that craziness in front of him, is going to take that to his advantage as they come down into 3. He has now worked his way up into the third position, trying to make a move on Vasquez. He's got the momentum, he's got the speed, he's right on the back bumper of Vasquez. He wants to overtake that Ford Mustang for the second position right now. He's probably going to make a move on that backstretch. He's right there, Carlos. He is inching that nose right into the back fender of Vasquez. He's probably going to make a move right here on the exit of 2. There he goes to the inside. Big momentum, almost puts the 12 in the wall from that draft. And there he goes. Nick and Delicato is going to overtake for second position.
I'm not sure if that's exactly what Nick wanted to do, if he even did anything there at all. Nick and Delicato. But he was right on the rear bumper of Vasquez, and whether it was a draft or I don't think there was any contact there, but I'm sure the draft kind of just pushed that 12 just a little bit too much, and he went out, hit that outside wall. I think he's going to be okay, but he lost that second place spot for the first time since the restart. The previous restart is going to lose another spot, as now Nick and Delicato is in prime position to get a third win in a row. Also on news, Matt Brewer has gone down pit road. It looks like his day might be done.
Man, and Nick and Delicato is feeling it, just like if you feel it hitting the mega jackpot on the Fire Links in the casino, because he is feeling himself here tonight. Coming around corner number 2, he has now caught the momentum of the 97 of DJ Weeks right there. He is coming quick, fast, and in a hurry there, Carlos, as we're coming down the backstretch down into corner number 3. You see him slow down just a little bit on the entry of the corner, trying to use that draft to his advantage. He might just sit back and relax right there in the second position, knowing that if he can use that draft to his advantage, he's going to try to the outside right here as we're going across the start-finish line here with 18 laps to go, with DJ Weeks leading him down into corner number 1.
While we didn't see the same exact type of battle and excitement that we saw this last green flag run, we are getting the same result this time by of Weeks and Delicato being the top 2 dogs here, as they've separated themselves from the rest of the field, as Nick and Delicato, with 18 laps to go, 17 this time by, is going to retake the race lead.
Yeah, Nick and Delicato is going to lead them across the line right now with 17 laps to go. Him and DJ Weeks are going to go 1-2 right now down into corner number 1. Around 2 there, running that middle of the line around the corner. No competition out of Kean Riley just yet in that third position with 17 laps to go here. I'm sure he'll be able to catch them just soon enough. You see Johnny Eckert just in the corner of your screen right now, down in the 7th position. But Carlos, they are racing it out for positions on the track here. I love this type of racing. Everybody's racing for points. Everybody's racing for something here at Vegas. Even if you don't win, there is still a lot on the line here with 16 laps to go.
Yes, indeed. Speaking of Johnny Eckert, I've noticed he's been starting to drop back a little bit, and I've noticed that turns 1 and 2, the exit of 2, he's been struggling with grip, and not this time by, but the last couple of laps he's been running very, very wide in the exit of the corner, and I think he may have hit it once or twice, but already dropped a couple spots, as right now this battle is essentially a battle for third, with Tom Ogle starting to kind of separate themselves from the other 2 drivers of Kean Riley and Josh Robinson right behind him.
And what a run it has been from Tom Ogle as well. Climbed through the grid. A lot of these cars have done a great job of climbing through the grid throughout this 134 lap race here tonight at Vegas, of just pure driver skill, Carlos. I mentioned it, a few of these cars got in trouble. They had to pit early. They got loose. They spun out. They got sideways. They saved their machines. They saved other machines on the racetrack. That's only led to 3 cautions in the race so far here tonight, Carlos. Really only 3 major instances where we had damage to race cars, major damage, if you will. A lot of these guys have been able to maintain their race cars, may have gotten in trouble early. Johnny Eckert is the name out there. A few of these other names as well. David Westergreen, who we saw starting the pole, has slipped down into 11th position right now. Not the race that he wanted to run here tonight, but we saw him make contact with I believe it was was it Johnny Eckert down there? Or was Seth Rollins right there? But now they are 10th and 11th after making contact just a little while ago. But Carlos, with 14 laps to go here, we're starting to count it down to turkey time, if you will.
It's starting to smell like the turkey's almost done cooking as Indelicado's slowly pulling away there from the 97 and DJ Weeks there in second. But those two drivers have everything on the rest of the field as Tom Ogle is about a second and a half away from DJ Weeks, who's already in second. After that, this top five is kind of slowed down a little bit. Then Johnny Eckert is currently in seventh. Bohemus, the stage 1 and 2 winner, currently in sixth. Nick Vasquez, who we saw earlier, who for the majority of this current run was kind of just hanging in there in second, and not really hanging in there, I should say, but was constantly behind DJ Weeks in second until he eventually got passed. And since then, he's dropped like a rock. So it's possible that that Vasquez was maybe just running a little too hard there, killed his tires, or that hit to the outside wall could have just been a little bit more than we expected.
That's exactly something that you mentioned here on the start of this run here. Some of these drivers that have climbed their way back up through the grid may have just been giving it just a little bit too much. Have just wasted everything in those race cars. But a few of those drivers that haven't kind of like that have taken their time, if you will, now in contention. You see Kean Riley up there in the 5th position. You have Robinson in 4th. Tom Oak right there has really saved that race car all race long. Has worked his way up in the 3rd position. DJ Weeks has done a great job of saving that 97 car, the way he's used that draft here tonight, Carlos. But all eyes are on the 4 machine of Nick Indelicato, as now he is starting to separate himself just a little bit, almost a second lead on second place with 10 laps to go, ladies and gentlemen. And it is almost time to start Googling who's got the best all-you-can-eat buffet with the best oven-roasted turkey on the strip, because he might be eating himself a turkey dinner here, going for 3 in a row.
In the meantime, you see the 22, the 61, and the 25 battling here for 9th spot. This is technically your closest battle, I want to say. As well, I'm not sure how happy the 22 is there, or I should say I'm not sure how happy the 25 is with the 22, considering we saw both of these drivers bring out the last caution because the 22 just gave it just a little bit too much gas as the tires were still cold exiting his stall. Did a little I don't know what's that motorcycle move when they jump in the air and they just kind of tilt their bike and shove it to the side before they land.
That's
kind of what he did.
Oh gosh, Carlos, you're asking me. I know exactly what you're talking about. You're asking me a brain twister right now, just like I was trying to figure out who Batman was. I couldn't figure that out the other day, and I know exactly what you're talking about, the exact move. I just can't think of it right now. But talking about that 20, it was Christian Bale, of course. So I don't know why I couldn't think of it. But the 22 machine was, we were just talking about. Right, exactly. the 22 machine
the
of
multi-millionaire playboy Bruce Wayne.
Right. We're trying to think who the Batman was in the Dark Knight series. None of us could think of who the actor was there. But speaking of that 22 machine of David Westergreen there, you talked about the incident with Seth Rollins in that 25. But I just have to say the 22 is probably having a rough night beyond just that there, Carlos. We saw that 22 start on the pole position. Really from the drop of the green flag has really struggled to maintaining that speed up at the top. As you see him just get loose on the exit of corner number 2 right there on your screen. Has really kind of struggled here tonight to maintain that speed, maintain that momentum as he had in that qualifying lap. Has really ran, for lack of a better terms, a Ryan Newman race, if you will. Was really hot on that qualifying lap and has just really kind of just hung on to that top 10 position. Has not ran the race that he wanted to run here tonight, but if he can come home with a top 10, can really salvage something out of this race here at Las Vegas. I'm
sure he's not going to be too happy regardless. I feel like he thinks this could have been a much better race, especially with the high shots that he expected to have qualifying on the pole. So regardless of whether he finishes in the top 10 or not, he's not going to be a happy camper once this race is over, and that'll be pretty quick as we got 5 to go. So unless a caution comes up, this race is going to be over within the next 3 minutes, I should say.
Yes, sir. With 5 to go, all eyes are, of course, on that 4 machine of Nick Indelicato. Has done a great job of keeping that 4 machine in the lead. Has really had to work with DJ Weeks up there as well as Barrett Polhemus, who won our first 2 stages on the racetrack. Nick's kind of kept that car inside of the top 5 throughout tonight's event here at Vegas. But then within this last couple, I'd say about 40 or 50 laps, has put that Ford machine right in the top 2, top 3, and then pushed his way into the lead, overtook that 97 and DJ Weeks. And as it looks right now, Carlos, he has not wasted any time wanting to give up that lead. But taking a look at that live scoring on the left-hand side of your screen, if you're watching a live with us here on 3Y TV on YouTube, you see just a little bit of time being shaved off there.
Yeah. Let's take a look at the lap timer here. Okay, you know, the last 5 laps in Delicado was running. They'd have more quicker lap times than Weeks did. But if you look closely, the 2 times that Weeks ran a faster lap time, he really ran a faster lap time in Delicado, because the times in Delicado ran a faster lap time, they've been like hundreds of seconds. With Delicado, with Weeks, it's been tenths of seconds, except for this last time, which was hundreds of seconds.
Yes, sir. As they're coming around corner number 2, we got 2 laps to go here, ladies and gentlemen, at Vegas. This race has flown by quicker than the money on the slot machines when I play, as Nick and Delicado is going to take them around corner number 3 on the exit of 4 right now down the front stretch right here across the start finish line. He's going to take that Manta Ray's white flag right now going down into corner number 1, and I can smell the gravy cooking the turkey in the oven, because he is racing for that 3-in-a-row win right now. DJ Weeks going to give it all he has in that 97 as they come around corner number 2 to the backstretch.
Ooh, corner battle between here the 25 of Rawls and the 61 of John DeBar for that 10th spot. It's been very, very close, but already in 3 and 4, Nick and Delicado is looking to finish this one strong. 3 in a row is looking like I said, it's a very strong possibility.
Yes, sir, as Nick and Delicado is going to lead them to the line right now, and he's going to be your race winner. Gobble, 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 gobble. He gets the turkey dinner here tonight, and that's 3 wins in a row for Nick and Delicado here in the Dynasty Stock Car Racing League. He wins the Las Vegas 150.
No, it's the Nevada 201. Pay attention, Will.
The Nevada 201, what an odd number, but nothing's odd about Nick and Delicado winning the race here tonight there, Carlos, in impressive fashion, if you will.
Yeah, fantastic job by all the drivers, but wow, what a drive by Nick and Delicado. This one was a tough one for him to get that 3rd win in a row. I thought it could have been over when that caution came out, even though he was the race leader, but he was pretty much running on empty, had to pit and take a black flag for pitting too early, but doesn't matter because Nick and Delicado knew just what to do. He gambled it all on red, and he won here tonight at the Nevada 201.
Yes, sir, as we're watching him burn it down here in the Nevada 201, he is ready to bust it down here on the strip with 3 wins in a row, Carlos. Man, he has had to work for these victories. You know, he hasn't done it in dominating fashion. He's had to work through the field, work out some of those guys, as we're taking a look at that live finish there, Carlos. And if you want to run the folks at home through that official results.
Yeah, Nick and Delicado, of course, doing celebratory burnouts. As you know, I'm sure the team is ordering a bunch of turkey because that's the 3rd win in a row. DJ Weeks finishes a strong 2nd. Tom Ogo in 3rd. Josh Robinson 4th. Barrett Polhemus finishes out in 5th. Is able to sweep stage 1 and 2. Kean Riley finished tonight's race in 6th. Johnny Eckert, I don't know what he did. He was pretty much wrecked before the first caution came out. Somehow got back in the lead lap and actually was contending for a top 3 spot before he drifted down to 7th. Nick Vasquez had a strong run early in this last run. Unfortunately, if he hit the wall a little too hard or he killed his tires, he ended up dropping all the way down to 8th. Still, that's plus 14 spots. David Westergreen finished out tonight's race in 9th, and Seth Rawls was able to just edge out John DeBarro here for that 10th and final top 10 spot.
Yeah, looking at that grid as well, we jumped down, as you just mentioned, John DeBarro is going to finish in 11th. Johnny Parham is going to finish in 12th. Fred Anderson is going to come home 13th. Avell Watkins is going to finish in the 14th position. And a surprising name for me, Carlos, Brian Lozano, who we saw in that 77 machine racing up there in the lead, is going to finish all the way down in the 15th position Rich Allen's going to finish in 16th. Riley Marabello is going to finish in the 17th position. Min Hang, who we thought was going to try to make a comeback here tonight, is going to finish in the 18th position. Vic Bloom's going to come home 19th. Trent Curtis is going to come home in the 20th position. Matt Brewer, another car we saw racing up there as well in that lead pack. Carlos is going to come home in the 21st position. Alex Buffoli is going to come home 22nd. William George is going to finish in the 23rd position. Justin Johnson is going to finish 24th. Zach Roethlisberger, unfortunately, it just wasn't his night here. Carlos is going to come home in that 25th position. Ryan Edwards is going to come home 26th. Adam Tepe is going to finish in 27th. And a surprising name as well, Logan Savowski is going to come home in that 28th position. I'll throw it over to you to complete that official results.
I had 30. I mean, well, you didn't give me much. 30 seconds there. Cooper, 33rd is going to be Jordan Tarble, and that'll pretty much be it for the rest of the fields.
In a debut racer right there from Shift Esports, and Matthew Bayuk's going to come home in the 30th position. Just not the debut he wanted here tonight, Carlos, but the rest of the field just didn't have anything for our three-time winner here in the Dynasty Stock Car Racing League. Nick Indelicato is going to get another win here in the series, Carlos. And man, I really, we're running out of words to describe his racing ability here in the Dynasty Stock Car Racing League. You know, we've gone to three completely different racetracks here, 3 weeks into the season, and he's won at all three. What do you think his chances are next week at Auto Club? Do you think he can keep this going? Do you think he can get that dash for cash next week as well?
I think they're fairly strong. Essentially, that's a good point. Yeah, Megan Delicato, DJ Weeks, Tom Olgo, and Josh Robinson are going to be your dash for cash for participants. And Barry Polhemus and Kean Riley, in the event that any of those first four drivers are not available, they'll also participate in the dash for cash. Priority given to 5th and then 6th respectively. But yeah, Nick and Delicato, strong chances next week for California. 4 wins in a row. So Nick and Delicato has already got the early stages of a dynasty going on here in the Dynasty in the Dynasty Stock Car Racing Cup Series. But I'm gonna go ahead and take a little break while you go ahead and interview the top 3 drivers, and then we're gonna close out tonight's show.
Of course, Carlos, I appreciate that. We'll bring in that third place finisher of Tom Ogle. And Tom, you're joining us up here in the 3 Wide TV broadcasting booth. And Tom, coming home third here tonight. What a race it was for you. One of those names that I kind of said to keep an eye out for, kind of laid in wait there throughout the field, kind of avoided some of the mess throughout. Kept your car clean, came home third here tonight. Top 3 finish. Nothing to be disappointed about here tonight. Take us through your point of view of tonight's race and how were you able to put that 83 machine in the 3rd position?
I kind of took it easy at the start, and so I was really good in the first run. I was getting ready to pass for 5th when the caution came out, but I just don't drive as hard as some of these guys on the restart. And then I got spun, a guy hit the wall, and I got knocked down off the track on the backstretch. So I was clear back to 15th before the last caution came. I kind of caught it lucky. I was going to run it out, and I pitted. I was in a wreck on the front stretch and kind of split them. So I got pretty lucky, actually. But I was good on long runs.
Yeah, we noticed that here. You know, we only had about 3 or 4 cautions here tonight in tonight's event. Maybe the trickiest corner I would think was the exit off of 2. It just seemed like a few drivers were scraping that wall there. As you mentioned, you got into one incident throughout the race. You got spun a little bit there. How are you able to avoid some of that mess throughout tonight's race? And how are you able to conquer this Vegas track where a few drivers really kind of, whether it was the long runs as you just spoke about or the difficultness of this track, how are you able to maintain and keep that thing clean?
You had to be really patient getting back to the gas, and the bumps in 1 and 2 were the tough part. That's what you just kind of had to roll through there, because if you got on the gas through those bumps, that's when the car would take up off the track, and you just kind of had to let off, you know what I mean? Guys would stay in it and bounce off the fence, and then that caused big problems.
Yeah, we saw a few of those big names kind of drop off the lead there, but we saw you battling just a little bit there. Did you feel like you may have had anything for Nick or DJ if you could get that race car up there, or were you pretty content with finishing top 3 here tonight?
I mean, after my night, I'll take a top 3. But then you know, all of a sudden I'm in third and we're closing on those guys. So then you get greedy and you think, well, heck, maybe who knows what could happen, you know? But
Right.
catching them, maybe, but passing them would have been tough. And then when we got to a certain distance behind them, I picked up an arrow push. So then it kind of, you get in that bubble where you can't gain anymore.
Yeah, speaking with Tom Ogle, comes home third tonight here. He's going to crack open a few White Claws after we get done with this interview. He is fueled by White Claw here tonight in that 83 machine. But Tom, with that third place finish here, you qualify for the Dash for Cash next week at Auto Club. What do you think your chances are there? And do you think you're going to take home some of that cold hard cash?
I run pretty good at Auto Club. I got a lot of laps there. I like the track. It races really fun. Races a little bit wider and more a little patient than this track, but looking forward to it. I'm glad I qualified.
Yes, sir. So you'll be in about the third position in that standings there. Taking a look forward throughout the rest of the season, we've seen your name kind of pop in and out of those standings here. We've seen you run really strong here in these first 3 races. Looking past Auto Club, you know, we go to Martinsville, we go to the Indy Road Course after that as well. How do you feel like the rest of the season's going to go? Do you think you can lock that 83 into the playoffs?
Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty good at Martinsville. Indy Road Course, don't have many races there, but I'm try to stay consistent, try to stay out of trouble. If the guy's way faster than me, I'll let him go. I just don't, you know what I mean? I kind of pick my spots a little bit.
Speaking with Tom Ogle, here comes home third tonight in that 83 machine. And Tom, with that podium finish, we love to give you drivers the opportunity to shout out anybody that you had watching at home, or where people can find you on social media, or any sponsors you have representing you here tonight.
I want to thank my teammates, Josh Robinson and Andrew Hess. They really helped me out. I just have Ogle's Auto Sales is really my sponsor. I kind of run white collar just to be a goof, you know.
Yeah.
But I do, listen, I love a claw. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying they do not give me any money for running their white claw paint scheme.
Gotcha. They just fuel you a little bit throughout the track.
Sure. I'm 53, so seltzer's good for the joints.
There you go. Keep you fresh and moving to get those
exactly.
to race on iRacing.
Right, exactly. All right.
Well, congratulations, Tom, with your third place finish here tonight. We can't wait to see you back on the track here at Auto Club next week here in the Dynasty Stock Car Racing League. And I appreciate you taking the time with us here, man. Have a great rest of your week.
Thank you. You guys do a great job. Your broadcast excellent. I appreciate you guys putting it on and how professional it looks.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate that, Tom, and can't wait to see you next week, man. And congratulations once again.
Thank you.
That was Tom Ogle, our third place finisher here tonight. He's looking forward to Auto Club there. He has qualified for that Dash for Cash. Did a great job of keeping that race car clean at the end of this race to come home with that podium finish. Kind of watched all that craziness in front of him ensue. Kind of knew that his race wasn't going to be his here tonight with DJ Weeks and Nick Indelicato there, 1-2 in the standings. But it is time to bring in that 97 machine of DJ Weeks here. And DJ, you are now joining us here up in the 3Y TV broadcasting booth. And man, it almost was yours. We spoke to you just before that last bit there. We thought that you were going to come home with a race victory here. You were trying everything you can, throwing that back fender into the front fender of those cars, trying to block all you could do. Take us through your point of view of tonight's race here. I know you might be just a tad disappointed with second, but man, what a finish it was.
I mean, disappointed. Not really, because I started 25th. So whenever you can survive chaos and make it up to the front, it's always fun. But I knew he was going to be hard to beat. Talking about Nick and Delicato. I just couldn't get away from people in the draft. It's just so strong in his car. But he got around me, and I was like, all right, well, second place is going to be. And I saw him get sideways off 4 one time, and I was like, okay, he's pushing really hard. So if I just stick with it, I might stay close. And I was trying everything in the end, using the bottom in 1 and 2, which is very sketchy. But maybe a couple more laps, maybe we could have made it interesting. But he's just so fast. So we gotta go back to the drawing board and figure out something here.
Yeah, I was speaking with Carlos here. We were watching you on the track. You know, you would kind of go low into the corners. You would swing that car back up high side, and kind of block that second place car. But with that, you were kind of, from my point of view, you were using that draft off the second place car to kind of push you along. Was that a strategy that you were kind of ensuing tonight here at Vegas?
Well, you gotta, if you cross over somebody's front nose, the car behind you, they just get tight. So it's like a defense mechanism. So when you're in second, you kind of want to enter a little bit lower to get some fresh air on the grill. But when you're chasing, it's hard, man. You gotta move around, and that's what I was trying to do with Nick. And he's smart, so he's gonna try to take away what I'm doing, and I'm trying to do the same thing to him. And it's just a chess match back and forth with these cars. It's fun, but it's very challenging at the same time.
Yeah, we saw it here tonight. It really was a chess game, if you will. We had 3 cautions on the track here. You spoke about how you're able to maintain and avoid some of that chaos through the track. What do you think made this track here so difficult, and how are you able to put that 97? We just spoke with Tom Ogle. He talked about how, he got spun early. He had to make up 15 positions, or I believe 10 or 12 to come home in the 3rd position. How are you able to avoid some of that? Although we saw you up in the lead pack there most of the race, but you were able to avoid making those mistakes here at Vegas. Was it just something you were learning as you were racing this track, or did you already know this track was going to be difficult coming in?
We ran this race as a test race when we were starting the league, and the setup it bottoms out so bad. It takes 10 to 15 laps for the car to at least stop hitting the ground. So you're hanging on for dear life, especially if you run the bottom. Knowing that the beginning of the race, everybody was up top. We're in the middle and top, and I was like, all right, well, I'm just going to feed around the bottom. Hopefully they wear their stuff out. And I think I drove the 10th or 11th before the yellow came out, and I was like, all right, it's game on now. Everything I've learned coming through the field. You're always learning. You're always trying to figure out what people are doing. And I told Nick right before I came in here, he was doing something different in 3 and 4, and I changed my line, and I was able to stay with him, watching him go through there. So if people are watching and learning every step, they'll start figuring out what they can do with this car, and what the treacherous spots are, but kind of avoiding them and knowing what to do when you need to do it.
Yeah, speaking with DJ Weeks here, the 97 machine is going to come home 2nd place here tonight. And DJ, you just spoke about Nick and Delicato there. Did you feel like once he started to make that run on you, in that kind of strategy that you had to throw in that back bumper and that front bumper of those race cars wasn't going to work on Nick, and Nick made that move on you? Did you start to feel that the race victory may have been slipping out of your hands? Or did you feel like maybe if I can kind of reel him in a little bit towards the end, I may have had something for him towards the end?
I don't think you ever give up with this car because of the draft, so you kind of hang in tight. But when he got around me that last time, I was like, all right, I got to figure out what he's doing. And the last 6 or 7 laps, I think I went from 7 tenths back down to 2 or 3 tenths before we crossed the line. So I felt like maybe 5 more laps I could have got him, but I don't think this race I had anything for him coming to the end there. Yeah, I needed 5, 10 maybe, and he's gonna be hard to pass. I mean, there's a reason why he's won the first 3 races, and there's a reason why he's won the Dash for Cash, and he's going for another one.
Yeah, and speaking of that Dash for Cash, you do qualify for next week's race at Auto Club with that 2nd place finish here tonight. How confident are you heading into next week's race, and do you think you can get some of that cold hard cash there in the Dash for Cash?
I mean, anytime I can take the other league owners' money, I guess that's great, right? But I hope we race. Unfortunately, there is a build week coming up, and
Right.
The updates cause problems. So if we race next week, Auto Club is absolutely amazing in this car. You can go 5 wide, 6 wide in the corners. It's so much room, and the draft is fun. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. I'm sure the same guys up front are going to be the ones to beat, but that's going to be a fun one. But I really hope we get the race next week and not have to wait 2 weeks for that one.
Yeah, definitely. That would be a shame if we miss next week. But DJ, in that 97 machine, you had one heck of a race here tonight. I really feel like this is going to kick some momentum into your season here moving forward, even past Auto Club, going to Martinsville, going to the road course at Indy. I really feel like this is going to be a confidence booster for you. Can't wait to see what you have in store for us at Auto Club. But with that 2nd place finish here tonight, man, you ran one heck of a race, but you had that 97 up there, majority of the race, if you will. You do get that opportunity to shout out anybody that you had watching at home, or people can find you on social media, or any sponsors you have on the side of that race car.
Yeah, first and foremost, I want to thank you guys for coming on board this season. Carlos, you're awesome. Even though you scared me this week by making me think I didn't do something right. Thanks, Bill, for being here. You're great.
Wait, what
Thanks
did
for
I
Johnny
do?
and Zach. I'll tell you later. Yeah, and you interviewed me. That's your fault too. No, but thanks to Johnny and Zach for believing in our plan to get this thing going. Every driver who's shown up the last first 3 weeks that's believing here, and thanks to Pro Air, Davis Warren for sponsoring the chase, Manny Rays. We cannot be here without them, so they are a big deal. Um, yeah, that's about it.
I
DJ,
remembered. I remembered.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's getting a little hot up here in the booth between these two. But DJ,
No,
we
nothing bad. I
appreciate-
just forgot.
You just scared him coming into Las Vegas. Hey, you must have done something to him. He finished second here tonight, so heck of a race
Yeah,
it
that's
was.
a good omen. Good omen. Do this next week too.
There you go. Give him a little kick in the butt, if you will. But DJ, one heck of a race here tonight, man. You ran top position most of the race. You come home second tonight, unfortunately. Just couldn't put that 97 in victory lane. Cannot wait to see what you have in store for us at Auto Club next week, man. And congratulations on the second place finish. Have a great rest of your week, and we appreciate you taking the time.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
That was DJ Weeks there, Carlos. Whatever you did must have worked, because he came home second place here tonight. He had that 97 machine all fresh to death, all white up there in the lead the majority of the race. But Carlos, is it turkey time?
Gobble
It
gobble.
might be turkey time. It might be turkey time, and we'll have to interrupt him pouring that gravy on the turkey. Him and the cranberry, mashed potatoes, all that stuff that he's got, all the great fixings that go along with his turkey dinner. Because without further ado, it is time to talk to our three-time champion here, the Dynasty Stock Car Racing League. Nick and Delicato, you go back to back to back here to start this season. Man, just take us through your point of view of tonight's race and how you were able to make it 3 in a row here tonight.
Well, before
Yeah,
he
it
does
was-
that, he needs to update his iRating because that number is no longer accurate.
I should update the picture too.
Yeah.
No, overall, I talked to you guys before the race. Started P2 and really stayed up there. I think the lowest I fell to was 10th there, and it was due to that crazy, it was a really unlucky strategy. But yeah, overall, I mean, I cannot say enough how clean this. I mean, obviously people have their wrecks and so on, but I cannot say how clean this league has been. I mean, we went green for a while there. We had a green flag pit stop. It was a ton of fun. So, another win, 3 in a row is pretty cool. So I'm just trying to stack up these playoff points to really help out in the postseason.
He talks about playoff points, and with that, you had an 11-point lead coming into this race here. I'm sure you're going to pad that by just a little bit here after you get 3 wins in a row. But Nick, looking back on the race there, one situation that I wanted to talk to you about there is when you were heading I think it was a green flag run. The caution came out. We saw you head down pit road there in that Ford machine. How nervous were you about that caution coming out at the same time as you were heading down pit road? Because me and Carlos were talking some situations that would be a black flag or you would go a lap down. How nervous were you how that would pan out?
Yeah, no, that pit stop, I think I got put behind everybody who pitted. There was a lot of controversy with, people coming back, like lap cars, if the lap cars had to pass me. But we sorted it all out there, and obviously, it put me in the back of the field that was on the lead lap. So it stunk. It was just generally really unlucky, but I took that chance, and the one time I take that chance, I don't have enough fuel to make it back around. So had to take that little penalty there, and I had to pit there. But overall, the restart was really good. I think I went from wherever I was, 9th or whatever, all the way up to 3rd in about a lap. So got lucky, just held that bottom and really stayed true to that bottom all night.
Yeah, speaking with Nick and Delicato, who goes 3 in a row here in the Dynasty Stock Car Racing League. And Nick, you just talked about it there, the way you were able to slice and dice through that grid there. What was the most, we saw a few drivers kind of struggle here tonight. It's a difficult course here at Vegas. What would you say was the most difficult aspect of tonight's race? Even though you came home with a race victory, it wasn't the most easy win here tonight. What was the most hardest part about this course here at Vegas?
Yeah, I think what was really hard is the cars were really sketchy. You saw people snap loose out of nowhere. I mean, I think the 3 car was in the top 3 at one point and just completely lost it. So I had moments of my own. I did what I could to save it, and it worked out. So like I said, the car would snap loose out of nowhere. So it was really sketchy over the bumps. But as I said earlier, I stayed on that bottom. I tried to save tires the best I could, and it really paid off with the green flag run. So honestly, it felt like the truck series. If you raced trucks here maybe a year or two ago, so it got tight. It was snappy loose here and there, but overall it was a ton of fun.
Awesome, man. And then we saw you battling out there with DJ Weeks there for the lead. DJ was doing an excellent job of blocking that high side lane there. Whoever got up in that second position, he was blocking with that back bumper. Once he threw that block on you, did you feel like that you had the fastest car, and if you could just get around DJ, that this race would be yours?
Yeah, I mean, I obviously DJ is a great driver, so I'm not going to say it was mine. He did a really good job. The blocks weren't crazy. Me and DJ race each other respectively, and he's really fast. We're both really fast. So I think I saved tires there a little bit better. At the end, actually, he started catching me because when I got by him, I told myself I'm going to push and try to get it away as far as possible. So he did a great job. It was a really clean race there, and I'm happy to have people on track we can respect and race really clean.
Yeah, it was that was the one sentiment he had in his interview as well about how clean this league is. Gosh, I think we only had about 3 or 4 cautions and 134 laps, so that's quite a feat of driver skill from you guys. We saw a few guys get loose, get sideways, spin out, go to the infield grass, and not only saved their race cars, but saved other race cars on the track. So it's just a sentiment of how clean you guys are. But one thing that is clean and fresh is that points lead, Nick. And going into Auto Club next week, you're going to go in not only as the points leader in the overall standings, you're going to go in there with 3 wins in a row, but also you're going to be at the top of the table for that dash for cash as well. How confident are you to making it 4 in a row and winning your second dash for cash race here in the Dynasty Stock Car Racing League?
Obviously, when you win a couple races, you have a little bit of confidence. Auto Club's another good track for me. I came in here. I love Las Vegas. One of my favorite tracks. But Auto Club's going to be fun. It might even be crazier because the track is way more bumpy, and this car is really sketchy over the bump. So hopefully we can go out and win it. I mean, that's the goal every week. But, a top 5, top 10, that's always good to help the points. So whatever happens next week is what happens. I'm happy to get a win tonight.
Yes, sir. Of course, with that, you make it 3 wins in a row. And speaking with Nick Indelicato here, again, putting that 4 machine into victory lane. And Nick, I think you're getting to know the drill here with that win. You get that opportunity to shout out anybody that you have watching at home, where people can find you on social media, or any sponsors you have inside of that race car here tonight.
Yeah, you see it every week. The 4 cars got Sam Drace on the side. Sam Drace is a great friend of mine. He does motorsports photography. Takes absolutely great pictures, goes to every major event you could think of in motorsports. So go check him out, follow him on Twitter, follow him on Instagram. It'll be a nice addition to your guys' feed. Along with that, shout out Shift Esports. I think we had 4 cars tonight, which is really nice to see. And if you did see all 4 cars, you saw how nice the paint schemes were. And the person who makes the paint schemes actually races with us, Seth Rawls. So if you guys need a paint scheme for iRacing or whatever it may be, go message him on Twitter, Instagram, and he'll get one made for you. And like I said earlier, follow our team, follow Shift Esports, Twitter, Instagram. It'll help out a lot, and you can kind of follow our journey here. We're trying to grow as much as we can. Once again, thank you guys for broadcasting every week. It means a lot.
Of course, man, and with performances like that, it makes our job a little bit easier up here with the action you guys put forth on the track. And Nick, you were just talking about growing Shift Esports with 3 wins in a row. I'm sure that growth is going to exceed your expectations there with that team. Man, you are racking up the victories here tonight, man. We'll let you get back to finding that perfect all-you-can-eat buffet here on the strip, or finding that perfect turkey dinner there on the strip with all the fixins, because you make it 3 in a row here tonight at Vegas. Nick, once again, congratulations from us here at 3 Wide TV. We look forward to seeing if you can make it 4 in a row at Auto Club next week. If we don't race next week, we'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Once again, congratulations, Nick, and have a great rest of your week. We appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys again. Have a good night.
Man, Carlos, that was Nick Indelicato. Makes it 3 wins in a row. One thing that I've noticed out of Nick there, Carlos, is that he's humble in victory. You know, he's not one to kind of tout. He's not one to say, I got to have the fastest car on the track. You know, I just raced everybody the way I race. You hear from there, Carlos. He's even happy with a top 5 or top 10. He wins. It's just an extra bonus for him. But one thing that I heard from those interviews there, Carlos, is a lot of the drivers are really loving the cleanliness of the racing here in this league. A lot of the drivers have respect for one another, and they keep it clean, race in and race out.
Yes, well said. But another fantastic race here in the books. 3 races down, only 1 winner so far. On to California next week. That's going to be a blast.
Yes, sir. I cannot wait to get my flip-flops, my sunscreen, and my Ray-Bans out to go to the West Coast. West Coast love, like Snoop Dogg once said there. Carlos, I cannot wait. If we don't see you in 1 week's time, we will see you in 2 weeks' time there, Carlos. What a race it was once again here in the Dynasty Stock Car Racing League. Carlos, I cannot wait to see what we have in store for week number 4.
It's going to be exciting for sure. But that'll do it for us tonight. It's been a pleasure. I'm Carlos Acosta. Joining me here in the booth alongside is Will Tiller, and hopefully we'll see you next week. But Will, when and where can we see you next?
Oh, yes, sir. You can see me again tomorrow night with 10-4 Broadcasting. We're in the North American Sim Racing Association. That is a tongue twister right there. We race Xfinity cars in that series. Carlos, hopefully we'll see you next Tuesday night in the Virtual Racing Association on 10-4 Broadcasting there in the Modifieds. You're trying to go for your 3rd straight top 3 finish. Oh, yeah. Maybe in 2 weeks' time. Maybe we'll have back-to-back races there. Yeah. We'll see you try to make it 3 in a row there, Carlos. But, yeah, you can catch me tomorrow night with 10-4 Broadcasting with the North American Sim Racing Association. I believe that race starts at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But, Carlos, I want to thank you for having me up here in the booth with you here at 3Y TV. These races have been a blast so far.
Yes, indeed. But all right, we'll see you guys next time, and y'all have a great week.